we can see in the world today, there's a spirit of Antichrist going against Christ, against the church. It finally achieves its form, its incarnation, like it were, and it's one man who will come at the end and do many of the very same things that Christ did. It will be some kind of demonic marvel.
Well, hello, friends. Welcome to the Reversion special episode tonight. Glad that you decided to join us here to tune in for the ultimate GOYSLOP tier list. Hopefully, this stream itself isn't GOYSLOP, but thank you for joining us here tonight. Yes, glory to Jesus Christ, and blessed feast of St. John the Forerunner. I have I think, pretty interesting episode here. You can kind of see what I'm looking at. I just threw together a bunch of different consumer products. So just before we get into it, I will, clarify some of the ratings here, or rankings rather, that I'll be considering. So, you see the kind of standard ranking list here, the S through D tier. And I guess maybe I'll just explain kind of as I go. But before we get into it, this is kind of what prompted this. GOYSLOP is back in the mainstream discourse, at least, in the online space, I suppose. But the ADL has just added GOYSLOP to their list of I guess their hate speech list, and it has caused quite a stir. And you can see here some of the replies. Asmongold mentioning some of the other terms that we have. Goynip, referring to this says an exciting event that keeps people attend. I've heard of Goynip as referring to marijuana. Goy beam, obviously the particle weapons that are used by Israel. Goy cattle, goycott, definition pending, and goy looping. Goy looping's a funny one. Goy looping is when you see on X those posts that are like, trans women are real women, like over and over, like how they say the same sentence in like a wall of text. That's goy looping. I think there was a reply from Shoe on Head that was also making the rounds. But I mean, this is just pretty funny because, they've added it to the list of anti-Semitic slang. Now, maybe they're saying that the combination of the words goy and slop is considered anti-Semitic, but it's funny that they're using the term goy to say that it's some kind of anti-Semitic slang. That's their word. That's their word. We are reclaiming it. And so, it's interesting that that they're kind of like, on one hand saying that it's not a slur against non-Jews, but on the other hand, they're saying that when we use it, it's a slur. So just kind of funny stuff here, but you can see it got ratioed to oblivion. But so that's kind of what prompted this. I don't think I have to explain what GOYSLOP is. I will be kind of expanding the standard definition. People usually think of it as, food related, all the processed mass processed food that we consume when you go to the supermarket. It's pretty much like, at this point, it's almost like all of the food. I would say probably like 80% of the food that you see in the middle aisles is the GOYSLOP aisles. So I'm not going to be doing like individual foods. I put a few of them on here that are like your standard GOYSLOP, like Takis and Flamin' Hot Cheetos, McDonald's. That'll kind of just represent a broader, category. So like McDonald's, I'll just say, is all of fast food. I'm not going to rank different fast food companies, okay? I don't think that's really pertinent to what we're doing. I wanted to kind of do a broader cultural ranking. So all these different mass consumer products that are keeping us unhealthy, distracted, all the things that these products are perhaps designed to do. But thank you very much for the $10 there, Seraphim Rosario, my brother. I appreciate that. Lock in, boys. We're slop maxing indeed. Well, I hope we won't be actually slop maxing. So hopefully if you are planning to eat some Flamin' Hot Cheetos while you watch the stream, that's on you. But okay. Maybe let's just get into it here because we've got quite a lot to cover. And I'll just also say, if you wanted to add something to the list that I might have missed, you can do that with a $5 super chat or donation through my website, and you just leave a message and I'll add it in there. But just make sure you kind of take a look at the what's here. I tried to make it as obvious as possible, but just take a look just so you can make sure you're not submitting something that's already here. Anyway, let's get into it. Where should I start here? I'm just going to kind of pick a random one. Let's say, well, let's do this just to get the ranks kind of situated here. I'm going to put OnlyFans at the top of the tier. This is kind of, again, representing all of the corn industry. So now this is the undisputed S tier. I don't think anything's going to top OF. It is absolutely a psychological weapon that's been, I can't even describe how effective this corn psyop has been on basically the entire Western world. It's really horrible. I feel like I don't really need to comment on that too much. I think we all know. I wouldn't imagine anyone would agree with corn being S tier. So just to get that situated, and then I think what I'll do here is maybe add something that's closer to D tier. Let's see here. Okay, I've got, maybe this is D tier, the Joe Rogan podcast, okay? Because Joe Rogan, the guests that he has had on for, a decade now, he's been doing the show, has been, they're very, kind of controlled. He doesn't have... he certainly, I don't think has had any Orthodox Christians. He hasn't had anyone that's really representing our worldview. There's kind of a lot of well, there is not kind of, there is like a broader confusion in incoherence in the worldviews that of the guests that he has on. They're like, in other words, they're just all over the place. Like if you just listen to 10 Joe Rogan episodes, you get probably about 10 different worldviews. So I put that at D tier because I think that's not like, I mean, just compared to the other things, I'm just kind of trying to situate things here. I don't know. You guys feel free to disagree with me in the chat. I'm sure there'll be plenty of that. But like Joe Rogan, maybe like he could potentially have a guest on there that like introduces you to a broader topic where you can kind of go down the rabbit hole on your own and find better resources for it. So I would certainly not put Rogan at like a higher level than that. Maybe C tier. Maybe we should rename these tiers. So like C or S tier, I would consider like societal collapse level. And then D tier would be like, let's say good goy. Like you're a good goy if you watch these or consume these things here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Andrew Wilson. Yeah, that was I think the only one I've watched in probably the last like 5 years. We'll do brain rot too. Maybe like, let's say C tier would be brain rot, I would think. Brain rot. This would be like, what would B tier be? I don't know. We'll figure them out as we go. This one I would say is like, let's say A tier is goy slave. You're a goy slave if you consume those. And we'll say this is a GOYSLOP. All right, there we go. Got the tier situated. All right, so now we've got an idea of the top, like the S tier and the D tier. Is democracy on the list? Yeah, well, democracy, I would put democracy in S tier if it were on the list. Not really a product. I had to kind of like put stuff on here that was more pertaining to mass consumption, although you could argue democracy is mass consumption. This all actually, you could kind of like put all of this in the umbrella of democracy or under the umbrella of democracy. All right, let's grab this one. This one is the Oscars. Shout out to a bunch of you suggested stuff in the between the Telegram and the Discord for me to add to the list. So whoever put Oscars on there, I thought that was a good one. Like, let's say awards show. Let's say just general kind of entertainment awards shows. I would put in the goy slave category. Maybe GOYSLOP. I don't know. This is a tough one because like these are all like these award shows are very ritualistic. There's a lot of maybe not a lot, but there's occasional occult symbology and references. You've got the political pandering from these celebrities and actors. Just really celebrate. It's just a celebration of GOYSLOP, I would say, in the sense of what we're talking about, just goy entertainment. It goes without saying the entire entertainment industry is goy feed. But okay, what else do we have here? Fox News. Oh man, this one. Again, Fox News, I'm going to consider like Fox News and let's say this is like all of conservative mainstream media. I was thinking about like putting all of the mainstream news outlets on this one, but those would deserve their own rankings. So I put Fox News. Fox News, I would, oh man, I would put Fox News for now is going to be at the top of the Goy Slave category. It's like it's probably between Goy Slave and, no, I wouldn't say societal collapse, but if you think about how damaging the propaganda is for the boomers that's broadcasted on Fox News, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's kind of like a major contributor to Christian Zionism, right? And like Trump worship. So I think I'm happy with that for now. What else do we got? Adult Swim. Okay, Adult Swim. Now, I'll just explain to you guys what reminded me of Adult Swim. I've been seeing on my feed for whatever reason, everyone's now reposting clips from the Eric Andre show. And I kept seeing them, and like I used to watch it like back in the day, and I don't think I ever, like, I realized that I don't think I ever laughed at that show. And that's the case for all of the shows on Adult Swim. I would say, since MDE was canceled, it's all gone downhill. But it's, Rick and Morty, right? Like Rick and Morty was created by a PDF file. So a lot of and it's like kind of, Rick and Morty is kind of like these idols of Reddit, right? They're like these Reddit mascots. Even just Rick and Morty could be on here and it'd kind of be the same thing. But I would put Adult Swim probably at the GOYSLOP level. There's like some demoralizing aspects to it, to some of the shows on there. Brain rot. Yeah, maybe. Do I have it too high, you think? Some of you are saying brain rot. Yeah, maybe brain rot. I don't know. The thing is, I'll come back and like, I'll probably rearrange some of these. So this is just an initial review here. Yeah, so now we've got each one filled out. Oh, I didn't realize you could. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave that one there. Okay, this is I got to figure out what image that is. Okay, there's an image that I had here that's like not working, so I don't know what that is. Let me take a look at one sec. Let me see what that is. All right, well, let's move on here. I'll take a look later. We've got Oreos. Okay, let's do some food. Let's throw some food on the board here. Oreos. Now this is where the names of the tiers might throw us off, because like, is food really, could you put food under brain rot, What is this? We're doing a, I mean, do I have to explain what a tier list is? We're doing a tier list of GOYSLOP. We're ranking GOYSLOP from best to worst, I guess. So Oreos, I would say, yeah, again, it's like weird to put Oreos at brain rot, but like, I don't know. I would say GOYSLOP probably. Let's keep it here for now, because Oreos have they don't have any like natural like food in it. Like it's all processed. It's like a completely processed cookie, right? Now a lot of people actually will point out that Oreos are Lenten, and you can eat Oreos during Lent because there's no dairy or egg in it, and that's probably a bad thing, actually. Like that's part of why it's slop. There's no like real ingredients in it. They're very addicting, right? You can never just eat one Oreo. Like if you think about what a cookie is, like you can usually just eat one cookie and move on with your life. You're good. You got your fix. Oreos are like the potato chips of dessert. You know, you just kind of like slam Oreos, right? You like stack them, you know, like you never just eat one Oreo. Like, yeah, you just, you know, you literally just snack on Oreos. Like, that's not how you're supposed to eat cookies. All right, what else we got? Good goys eat Oreos, yeah. Oh yeah, let's do McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's. And again, I'm gonna say McDonald's is representing, like, let's just say it's encompassing all fast food, because I don't think that it's worth ranking all the individual fast foods. They're all they're all slop in their own way, you know. McDonald's. Yeah, I would say McDonald's is giga slop because, I don't know, like, the thing with fast food in general, it could be useful sometime, like on occasion, if you're like in a rush to get somewhere and you're starving, right? You go through the drive-through. Now, when I do this, I do eat fast food on occasion. And usually what I get is an order of fries. The fries still are not good for you. The fries, like, I remember seeing videos of the McDonald's. It was somebody had like a Happy Meal or something from like the 90s that they preserved for whatever reason. And it was like the burger and the fries and like everything like stayed intact. Like it didn't get moldy or anything. And like I remember like back in the day, like when I was in college, I would have like, you know, a fry or something get loose in my car, like under the car seat, and you'd find it like years later and it still just looks like a fry. Like you obviously wouldn't want to eat it, but like it hasn't like gone moldy or like decomposed at all, you know? So like even the fries are not good to eat, but I would put it in the giga slop category because sometimes you just got to eat on the go. Now, would I pick McDonald's? Probably not. Like, there's probably better fast food establishments that have slightly healthier food, or let's say less slop in their ingredients. But, yeah, like, and the problem with it is that it's like made with all these addictive ingredients. You know, if we didn't have Ozempic in America, we would like people would. It's crazy how like maybe Ozempic. I don't know if is Ozempic even GOYSLOP. Like it's crazy because like Ozempic is really just like a drug that is to alleviate people of their obesity from eating all this slop. You know. Yeah, I'm in the same boat with the fries. Yeah. I really just eat the fries once in a while, but the burgers and stuff that all makes me sick. I can't eat like the burgers or the chicken sandwiches or whatever. Yeah, that's a good point, Annie. Yeah, the Chick-fil-A has its own niche of goy soy fat. Yeah, like it's the Christian. They call it the homophobic chicken. It's like, oh, it's based. No, it's still fast food slop. Oh, because they close on Sunday. Okay. Yeah, that's good, actually. That's good that they close on Sunday so that you can't eat it 7 days a week, not because it's like honoring the Sabbath or whatever. All right. What else we got? Pokemon cards. Oh, that reminds me I need to add, I do have Nintendo. Okay, let's do Pokemon cards first. Now, Pokemon cards, I have to think about this. Like, Pokemon cards from the consumer aspect, I would say is probably Giga Slop category. But it depends. I guess it depends why you're buying Pokemon cards. Cause I've seen this trend now that people are buying Pokemon cards and like there's a whole economy around Pokemon cards. Like, well, they'll buy the packs and then, you know, resell some of the rare cards or something. I don't understand how all that stuff works. I would imagine it's just like any other collectible, but it's also kind of gambling, I guess, in a sense. But, you know, if it's like for kids, there's an interesting aspect there where it's like kids are, if they're using them for that reason, like to resell them or to trade them, they're kind of like learning economics. So it's not like it's slop in the sense that it's like what it, you know, what is on the cards and like kind of what the like the consumer aspect again. But like, yeah, maybe I would put this in brain rot. You know, people do, I think most Pokemon card consumers do treat it like giga slop, or this could even go in like the goy slave category, because like some people are just like they'll go broke just from buying Pokemon cards. Like that's like slave status, you know. Yeah, there's a whole goy economy around it. Yeah, neutral on yeah, same. I'm kind of neutral on trading cards. It depends how you're using them, I think. So that's a tricky one. So that's another one we'll probably get back to. Let's do this one. This is reaction videos. I'm going to put reaction videos in brain rot. I think this is a pretty easy one. Reaction videos are brain rot. You have the classic soy face thumbnail. You have to have the surprise look. Otherwise, it's not an exciting reaction. I'm not going to click that video. I want to see soy facing if I'm going to watch a reaction. Now, I might add something that is a bit of a spicy take, especially considering our audience here. But I think to a certain extent, or let's say at a certain point, you have to be consistent with this, with reaction videos being brain rot. Okay, so that means it includes things that you like. What does that mean for us? What is reaction videos in terms of like what we typically watch in this kind of audience, right? Reacting to debates, reacting to videos that another YouTuber did, right? Like to a certain degree that can become brain rot. Now, I will preface that with saying that a lot of the stuff like with the apologetics, it can be like higher tier, but a lot of the reaction videos, like depending what you're reacting to, like if we're reacting to prot slop videos, right? Like there was that one, what was it? That conference? They were like, we were calling it the Protestant Churchless Council that they held. It was like a 9-hour live stream. That's all. Like I didn't even watch that, and I know it's brain rot. And we literally call it prot slop, right? So, in a sense, it's like you're reacting to slop, and then you're just you're trying to like make it higher tier. That's kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm making brain rot right now. I don't know. But the point is, like, this isn't just the like opening, like the unboxing of Pokemon cards or the Labubus or what are those bobbleheads? I always forget the name of those bobbleheads. I think I have it on here. Right? It's like it's not just reacting to like the unboxing. It's like now extended to like reacting. You're just like watching somebody else watch a video. And I'm guilty of that too. I do that too. So probably to some extent my content's brain rot. Yeah, Funko Pops. Thank you. Yeah, Funko Pops. Do I have that on? I might not have Funko Pops on here. I thought I did. But I did put Labubus on here. maybe you could probably like consider Funko Pops in the same category as Pokemon cards, because I think they do have like a resale market. So we would just say that represents collectibles. But yeah, as I'm talking about the reaction videos, I'm realizing like if you like just broaden that to its logical conclusion, it literally applies to what I do too. So like, yeah, I guess like it depends, but I think there's a clear, aside from all that, there is a clear like slop aspect to reaction videos where you can tell the person's just acting, right? They're like, oh, like I think of the Star Wars, the guy reacting to the Star Wars trailer, you know, like that kind of stuff is like that is like the real slop of the reaction videos. Like reaction videos have broadened enough that like you can get some like higher tier commentary from them, you know. So I will take back what I said, but I do think it is like it can kind of get into that territory even for the higher tier stuff, because it's like same thing over and over and over. That becomes brain rot. Yeah, they use the soy face. Yeah, it's like the template soy face. Yeah, a lot of those channels, you're right. A lot of those channels, they use the same like 3 soy face reactions, and they like don't even change the picture of the YouTuber. Yeah, really. I mean, actually, I guess that's still going on, but like a lot of the YouTube thumbnails now are AI, which is a whole other category of slop. Actually, let's do AI now that we're at that. So AI, this is a tough one because we're just saying like all of AI, you know. It's pretty broad. But AI, I mean, I have ChatGPT specifically here. Yeah, GOYSLOP's pretty. See, the reason I'm thinking something below GOYSLOP level with AI is because that is something that can be used strategically. You can use AI for useful stuff. You can achieve, like you can accomplish certain tasks that you're doing, especially as it pertains to technical work. You can really save a lot of time with it and go on to do more important stuff. So like it depends how you're using it. I think the general application on a broader scale, let's go with that, I would say is probably GigaSlop. Actually, I mean, it could be like it is designed to enslave you quite literally. So you could, yeah, let's put it in GOYSLOP actually. I'm going to put ChatGPT in GOYSLOP. Again, it depends how you use it. So like this is where it differs from something like Fox News. Like Fox News, you cannot make a useful application of it. Like you cannot have, there's like really no exceptions to Fox News, something like Fox News, where there could be some redeeming qualities about it, at least in my opinion. Like maybe once in a while, some guy has like an interesting take or like a decent take, but overall, it's very like it has almost no redeeming factors. AI has some, I wouldn't call them redeeming factors, but like it has some utility that you would have to really work hard against it to make it useful, which I did a whole video on. If you go and watch my latest uploaded video on YouTube, we talked about how to make it not enslave you as much with certain prompt. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. But yeah, like mostly it's I would say GOYSLOP category. Yeah, like okay, yes, this is a good example. Putting the letters of Father Seraphim in Notebook LM. Yeah, Notebook LM is pretty good, actually. I would say Notebook LM is like in its own category because it's not it's not like one of these flagship LLMs where they have all of the it's like it doesn't act as a search query for everything, like all of knowledge, right? It only is pulling from the PDFs that you upload there. So it's acting as like a glorified search tool for the specific information you feed it. So it can be like, yeah, Notebook LM is really useful for research. So that's why, like, yeah, some of these, like, yeah, it's hard to just say all of AI, right? It's like really broad, but I just put ChatGPT. It's like ChatGPT, I think, is the hardest one to kind of like make it useful. And quite literally a GOY technology, because we all know the early life check from Sam Altman, right? We don't need to actually do a live early life check on that. Oh, and I forgot to comment on this, but the OnlyFans speaking of that, the OnlyFans founder, I think, just died recently, didn't he? Let me see. R.I.P. Bozo. Unless that was like a fake, that could have just been made up. That could have just, someone might have just, I might have seen just like a fake thing on that. Yeah, here. Only OF founder Leonid Radvinsky dies of cancer at age 43. Now is community noted. Oh, so this guy really did die, but they're saying it's not really the founder. Okay. Well, he still founded a cam site, so R.I.P. Bozo. Yeah, he is dead. Yeah. Well, God have mercy on him. So, and not like that's going to stop anything anyway. You know, it's not worth like even getting remotely. Not like we should like celebrate people's death, but like it's not even worth. If you were to do that, it's not even worth it, because it's already, damage is already done. Speaking of that, let's do this one. This is Tinder. So again, I'm going to just say this is all dating apps. I'm not interested in ranking dating apps. Let's just say Tinder is all dating apps, right? So for Tinder, let's say, Tinder could be, a case could be made for Tinder being S tier. This is a tough one. I'm going to keep it at, oh man, this could be collapse level GOYSLOP. I'm going to put it up here for now. Yeah. I'm pretty confident that this is S tier. Dating apps are accelerating the whole, you know, the whole like hypergamy driven society, right? Where there's no like think about what dating apps have done to for singles, right? You go on a dating app and you're swiping left or right based strictly on their appearance. I mean, I doubt people are really being swayed by the bio, like whatever information is on there along with the picture. Like I think we've all seen the videos by now of like how women swipe on these dating apps, right? It's like they're not reading anything. Maybe some of them don't even have the bios. I think like I have not been on a dating app in probably 15 years. His name. And so it's activeness of the person, right? And that's before there's any conversation. It's like eliminated this whole traditional style of approaching women, right? Like men, I mean, this probably has a big part in why men don't approach women anymore. Like it's crazy because there's all these trends. I mean, this is not like a new trend, obviously, but like I see on Instagram that there's all these videos of guys that are like doing the PUA stuff. Like they're just going out and using pickup lines and they go viral. And it's like, why is that viral? like people just used to do this. Like this is just like how society functioned. You saw a woman that looked attractive and you just go up to her and just say, hi, what's your name? You know, you just talk to her. Like literally you just go up to her and talk to her. But these two things here, you have the, you know, the corn psyop and then the dating app psyop. And those two together, I think, are really contributing a lot to, and I'm just talking about like the male side, right? Like the female side, I think we all know like what it does. I mean, but you know, it's generally just like, both of these things are massive collapse. Yeah. So like, you know, you have people that are just like the women are not even reading anything or like talking to guys, right? You have to like really say something that's really out there, like really attention grabbing for them to even respond to a DM if they even see it. Social media apps are kind of treated like that with singles. You know, I see people talk about X as a dating app. And so people, I guess, use X as a dating app where you're having, you know, you like a person. I mean, that's a little bit different actually, because you're getting a general feel for the person's like personality and their interest. And so that's maybe a little bit different. I wouldn't put X in that category, but like the point is, like women on these apps are like, you can't even comprehend how many DMs they have on these apps. So like, you can't just say, hey, you can't just like say, hey, what's up? You can't do that. But you know, if you were to approach a woman in real life, that might have I don't know actually. I really don't, but I would think that has a higher success rate if you just literally walked up to a woman and said something really basic like, hey, what's up? Like in real life. Just cause like, it seems like not many people are doing that anymore, but you can't do that in a DM on a dating app. You cannot say like, hey, what's up? Like, how's it going? You can't say that. That just immediately gets ignored. Like you're already cooked if you said that. Only a few men have success with it. I feel like it was more damaging to women. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You see that like even really unattractive women, like overweight women and stuff are like still getting flooded with DMs. Like they still, and it gives them this like false perception of, that they have all these options. And it's really because the men have exhausted all of their options. And so they get like, I think the way that the algorithm works is like, you can from the male's perspective, you can get very, you can get to the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. I don't even like that it has us like talking about people this way, but this is what these apps do. But yeah, you get to the bottom of the barrel in terms of options very quickly because you exhaust all of your swipe rights. So it's like the opposite. Like the men are all swiping right, and then the women are all swiping left. And they say it's like something like there's really like only a top 1% of men that are getting like swiped right on, something like that. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to talk about that too much more. Let's go with Disney. I think this is Disney Plus. So I guess this, we'll say that this is Disney and all of its companies that it's acquired. So I think that includes what, ESPN, Marvel. I feel like there's other ones that I forget, but Pixar, right? So that's a lot of stuff there, and it is kind of all generally the same. So we're talking the whole Disney universe, Marvel, Pixar, ESPN is like, you know, that would go in the sports slop category, but oh yeah, ABC, yeah. I'm going to put this, this is another one that it depends, right? Because you have the whole like obsessive Disney adult thing where people treat it like a religion. Like there's a religious aspect to Disney. It is very much a psyop, like Disney movies, Pixar movies, Like because they're marketed to kids. I'm going to put this like probably at the top of the GIGASLOP category. And again, I'll go back and kind of like rearrange some of these too. So let's just keep getting stuff on the board here. What else do we have? Red 40. Red 40 is a big one because this is in like so much food that we consume. It's in like everything now. And I think it's even illegal in the UK. Red 40. Yeah, this would be GIGASLOP. That's going to be... that you could even say GOYSLAVE category. Just because... Yeah, let's put that in GOYSLAVE. Just because it's in everything, and you have like it's in everything to the point where you're almost like enslaved to it. Like it's very difficult to find food now that doesn't have red 40 in it. Now there's like a saying when you go to the supermarket that you should just shop the perimeter, meaning just buy like the produce, and the dairy, right? Like just go in the poultry, the eggs, in the meat, right? So like just go around the perimeter. Don't even go down those aisles. But even that stuff is full of chemicals now. So, you have all the GMOs. I didn't even put GMOs on here, but yeah, you have like all the GMO stuff in the fruits and vegetables. Oh yeah, and that's a good Yeah, thank you, Dr. Crispy. That's a good point. So kosher food is actually a really good example of how there really is, like how GOYSLOP is a real thing, because a good example of this is Coca-Cola. If you can find it, there's kosher Coca-Cola. I think it has a different colored cap. I think it's a yellow cap, if I'm not mistaken. And what makes it kosher is that it has real cane sugar. They just use pure cane sugar like how they used to make Coca-Cola. So it's not processed sugar. That's literally it. I believe that's all that the difference is. If you could find kosher Coca-Cola, you should buy it. Now, Coca-Cola itself is like kind of, it's got slop elements to it. I mean, you obviously shouldn't be consuming soda like every day, but if you're going to consume Coca-Cola, at least get the real cane sugar, get the kosher product. So like literally all the other sodas that don't have cane sugar is all GOYSLOP. Yeah, the glass bottles too. Yeah, I think, what is it? The Mexican Coke might be the same as well. Yeah, I think the Mexican Coke also has cane sugar. All right, moving on. This is an easy one. Reddit. Let's put Reddit at brain rot tier. That's pretty easy. I feel like no explanation needed there. Reddit, to be fair to Reddit, it can be useful. I've talked about this before. Depends what Reddit, like what subreddit you're using. For hobby stuff, like things that don't involve like worldview, I think Reddit can be fine for like indexing information. But otherwise, it's slop. So, all right, let's go to Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is a tough one because yeah, where do I put Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast, I would say I'm tempted to put him in GOYSLAVE. And I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about what he's done. Like the way that he transformed content on YouTube. Like Mr. Beast, he donates like all this money and stuff, but it's like, dude, Everyone does that. Like philanthropy is necessary for PR once you enter, like, you know, once you become a multi-millionaire, billionaire, philanthropy is necessary. So I don't see that as like, oh, he's a good person. Like, look, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they all did philanthropy. Okay. It's like, that's just, I don't know. I don't think that means anything. I take that as nothing, right? Philanthropy is just whatever. I would say GOYSLOP and maybe put it like near it. Does not. He does not have the same impact as Disney. I couldn't put it there, but maybe next to Disney. I would probably put. Let's change that one. Let's say awards shows. Awards shows, like, I don't know who even watches award shows anymore. Oh, let's do gambling. Gambling is I would say gambling is at like the top of the goy slave tier. Gambling is everywhere now. You can't watch goy ball without the you know, advertising of gambling, of all the sports betting sites. That's like all it is now. I mean, they have the sports betting sites as ads for these major sporting events now. It's everywhere. And that's just sports betting. You know, you talk about slots, the lottery, right? Gambling websites. I mean, it seems like very few people even go to real casinos anymore. It's all just being done online. I don't know what going to a casino is like true goy slave tier. Like, that is like, if you actually go into a casino and you're like spending time there, that whole, I've talked about this before, but like casinos, the way that they're designed, and I know this from studying how like all the psychology that's built into mobile apps, because they use the same programming as that they use for casinos. So for example, casinos, they have a certain lighting that is like the colors of the lighting that you see on these app icons and stuff, like the way that they design the colors that they use in brands and app icons. They're designed to compel you to click them, right? Like, have you ever just opened an app on your phone and you're like, why did I even click that? I don't need to open this app right now. That's the psychological trick that's programmed into the app icons. It's the same as casinos. They're using the same colors and you know, shapes and stuff for these icons that compel you to click them. So it's the same in the casinos. It compels you to like go play a slot machine because it's got all these bright lights of a very particular color, combinations and things like that. They have the music to programmed at a certain BPM. I forget what the BPM is, like maybe 90 or something. And that's so that you don't realize that like it's certain kind of music that has a certain BPM, which is so that you don't realize that there's music playing, but it also helps to like encourage you to stay there. So it's like upbeat music, you know, kind of club style, but it's like slowed enough that it's not, you don't get anxious and stuff. All this psychological stuff programmed into casinos. There's no clocks in them, right? You don't see clocks in casinos, so they try to manufacture time blindness. You don't see windows, so that you can't look outside and see, even guess what time of day it might be, right? So it's like literally designed like a prison to keep you in there and gambling. And that's quite literally what all the gambling apps do. They all mimic that kind of programming, just in the digital form. So that is very much like top tier goy slave is gambling, because you're willingly doing that. You're willingly deciding to play the slots and you know, pull the goy slot lever and knowing that the odds are against you, right? Same with the lottery, the goy lottery. It's all the same rigged against you. Yeah, the Goldstein casinos. Yeah. A Jewish Plato's cave. Yeah. All right, let's do. On that note, let's do TikTok. I feel like I would have to just put TikTok in pretty much the same category because of all the reasons I just mentioned. It's the same type of programming. I know people wake up on TikTok like, oh, there's all these conspiracy creators on TikTok that are like waking people up. Like, well, that's also slop, though. That could also be slop because. Is it really like, are people generally like getting red pilled on TikTok and then they go and read books and do their own research? No, they just go and watch more TikTok. Oh, that's interesting. I got to watch more TikToks on that. Maybe a long form video, but like certainly not. TikTok isn't compelling you to read books. It's like the opposite of books. It's as Marshall McLuhan would call a cool medium, right? It's all dopamine maxing, In fact, a lot of this stuff you can just categorize under dopamine, really. That's kind of what these all have in common. Let's do Love Island. So Love Island, I'm going to say this represents all reality shows, but I guess Love Island is like the king of reality shows now. Like, I've never watched Love Island, and I never will, but I can imagine it's somewhere like, it's kind of like watching people do Tinder almost, It's hard for me to rank this because I haven't seen it, but I know what it's like done, generally what it's done to society. Like, imagine watching a show like this. Imagine like marathoning a show that's like you're watching other people find love and they're just on there for clout. But let's say GOYSLOP. I don't even know where to put this in GOYSLOP. All right, let's do praise and worship songs. Now, this is more so pertaining to like, as they call it, CCM, Christian contemporary music. Worship slop. This is a kind of an interesting one. I just threw this on there. I didn't really think it through much. Like, could this be considered GOYSLOP? That's the question. Because it's not... Like, is it made by Jays, right? I don't think so. I mean, these are just evangelicals, but you could argue that they're Jays too. Yeah, good goy. Yeah, let's say good goy. I just kind of threw that on there. I don't have much to... I didn't really think it through, but... Some can be good if it's not too proddy. I don't know. I haven't heard any... Like, that on that note, let's do this here. Let's do this. Because it's kind of in the same category. I have an Imagine Dragons album here. And Imagine Dragons represent it's not just that one band. I would call this coworker music. I would call this stomp clap. Right? This like normie friendly indie music, I guess, like that you talk about with your coworkers, right? Taylor Swift would be in that category. So like I'd probably just put that down here. I'd put that in the same, like, you could essentially say this is the same thing. It's like Christian contemporary music is just stomp clap, office, coworker music, with Christian, Protestant lyrics, right? Millennial Hopecore. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Advertisement music. Yeah. Pop slop. Yeah. All good terms. Yeah. All right, let's get soy out of the way. I'm just gonna put that in GOYSLOP. I mean, so maybe brain rot. Soy actually, like, I don't know. I feel like the soy is the soy being associated with GOYSLOP. I feel like is more of just like a meme. And I think it comes from like the original soy jack, right? Isn't that like what the original soy jack was? He was holding up a bottle of Soylent and like making the soy face. So like I think it's more so associated, and I'm not saying soy is good for you, like a mass amount of soy. But like, you know, like tofu, right? Are we going to say that like if you eat tofu once in a while, it's like bad for your health or something? You know, it's going to make you grow man boobs. I think this depends on the amount of consumption. If you're drinking Soylent, that's a different story. But soy in general, yeah, you shouldn't mass consume soy, but yeah, it makes you more feminine. Yeah, but I mean, how much of that, right? How much soy do you have? Like, let's say just tofu. You know how much tofu they eat in Asia? They like practically live off it. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that, like, I feel like that's mostly a meme. Again, I'm not trying to downplay the health aspects. Like, I know that there's probably some truth to that it does like feminize you. I don't even know how the science to that works, but like, I feel like, you know, what I'm trying to say here is I feel like it's mostly a meme. I don't have too much more to say about that, but I'm not a health expert. There's probably most of you in the chat know more about like the ingredients and stuff that goes into these foods and how they're processed and everything. But yeah, kind of the same with Sneed oil, right? Sneed oil is GOYSLOP, I would say. That might even... Actually, I would maybe say that's I would put that in the category of Red 40. I'd put Sneed oil in Red 40 category. Another one that's just in everything, right? You cannot... There's very few mass-produced foods that you can buy that don't have some kind of seed oil in them. Oh, let's do sports ball. Sports ball. Ooh, sports ball could go in societal collapse category. If you watched our last stream, you would see that it can be associated with societal collapse. This is the bread and circus, right? This is the bread and circus so that everyone's distracted while the literal collapse happens. So I'd put that up here. And that's just all encompassing for all goy ball leagues, all types of goy ball. World Cup, UFC. Okay, I know many of you love UFC. I occasionally will watch a UFC match, but that's everything. That includes the sports you like. Okay, again, if we're going to be consistent about this, if you watch any kind of sports, like that includes it. But as I covered in the last stream, and along with a lot of this other stuff, like in moderation, it's fine. I'm talking more so about, that's why maybe I wouldn't put it in the societal collapse category, because sports can be consumed in moderation and not have like a detrimental effect to like your personal well-being, your mental health and all that. You know, you can enjoy sports. It's just the fact that you are literal goy cattle when you watch these sporting events, because you are being targeted for mass marketing. So it's kind of more so the subjecting yourself to all of the consumerism that comes with watching sporting events, you know. So this is a tough one. Because like if you look at like what Tinder and OF has done to society, would you say that sports ball has the same effect or similar effect? I don't know. I might keep this in goy slave category for now. Yeah, I would say actually alongside gambling. I'd put that alongside gambling. Gambling isn't bad. Okay. I mean, you'd have to explain that. Well, explain how gambling is good. Explain how it's good to enslave yourself to a system that is designed to have the odds stacked against you. Explain how it's good. How it's good to like spend all this time in these digital casinos that are designed to keep you addicted to them and take as much of your money as possible while you're pacified with occasional winnings. I hope you're trolling. I hope you're trolling, but I'd like to hear anyone make a moral case for gambling. Like why gambling is good for society. I mean, that is quite literally goy activity. Because, like, do you see Jews gamble? Think about this. Do you see Jews gamble? No, Jews own the teams that you're gambling on. Like, I'm sure there's some I'm generalizing. I'm sure that there's Jews that gamble. Okay, but I'm talking like more broadly, like the ones that have that are really invested in sports. Are like they own like the gambling. They own the casinos and the gambling companies and the sports teams that you're betting on, right? Yeah, Dave Portnoy is a good. Yeah, Dave Portnoy. That's true. He does gamble. Yeah, but I just think it's very goyish activity in general. Family poker night isn't that bad. Okay. If you're just playing poker, sure. But if you're gambling on it, it's just as much gambling as anything else. And like, I think it's actually toxic to gamble with your family. That seems like super toxic. Like that's not a wholesome family activity. Like imagine, I don't know. I don't think that that's a very good activity to do with your family. There's a million games you could play with your family that don't require gambling. Like you putting money on the table and losing money to your dad or something. But sure, it can be done. I'm sure there's families that can do that in a fun way, but I'm talking about the mass marketing and consumption of gambling. Okay. Again, these are all like, you can't talk about these things with like, it's hard to rate these things with nuance, So this is all just talking about like on the mass scale. Bud Light. Okay. Bud Light, I would put in the Giga Slop category. And again, I would say that this kind of is encompassing all of the commercial beers. So not just Bud Light, but Bud Light, interestingly, remember they had, what was it, last year? They had, maybe 2 years ago, they had that, the Skittles man that was dressed like a woman who they were using to market Bud Light, and all of the boomer conservatives were absolutely losing their minds, and so they did all this damage control. Now they hired Shane Gillis, so they have the friendly, overweight, wholesome Chungus, guy next door that you'd be tailgating with, kind of thing, right? Course is better. Yeah, look, if I like gun to my head, I had to pick a cheap beer that I had to drink for the rest of my life. If I, any time I had to drink beer or chose to drink beer, it would have to be this cheap beer. I probably would choose, I might choose Miller High Life, champagne of beers. I might go with that one. For no other reason than I like it. Stella? I don't know if does Stella count? Stella's not really a cheap beer. Stella's not cheap. PBR, yeah. PBR. That PBR is like, that's like super, super cheap stuff. Yeah. That's what we used to call in college piss beer. All right, so vaccines, I'm going to just put this right at the top. No explanation needed. And again, that doesn't apply to all vaccines, okay? But Most of them, I would say, are societal collapse territory. Costco. Let's do Costco. Now, Costco is actual Goy, like this is the Goy Walmart. Maybe Walmart also is in the same category, but Costco especially because it's you have the Costco guys. Those are all members of the tribe, and then the guy who owns Costco, the founder, is also a small hat man. And it's all it's basically a slop superstore, right? You can just buy GOYSLOP in bulk there. So I would say, and there's a whole culture around Costco. That's a great point. Yeah, it's affordable and it destroys local businesses. Yeah. But I would say the nature in which they sell products at Costco is, because they sell everything in bulk, it is designed for mass consumption. So I'd put that in. That's definitely GigaSlop, but like where? Where in the GigaSlop category? Like where should I rank this here? Costco, I'm just thinking of like some upsides to Costco. Like, we talk a lot about prepping here, and it is beneficial to buy like non-perishable foods in bulk for a cheap price if you're stockpiling them. So once again, it depends. It could be used. This could be used strategically. I'm in favor of strategic GOYSLOP consumption. If you can not use it the way that the rest of the public uses these things, there could be in some cases some upside to it. So maybe I would put this in like good Goy. Even though, again, it's like literally the superstore of GOYSLOP. I would maybe brain rot. I don't know. Maybe. See, I have to like reconfigure this stuff because like now I'm thinking the reaction videos. Are we going to really put reaction videos in the same category as Costco? It's probably good. Reaction videos are probably good Goy, and then we'll say Costco is in the brain rot category. Maybe at the top. Let's go top of the brain rot tier. It's GOYSLOP because it's food. Yeah, well, I mean, the foods are just kind of mixed in with the rest of the stuff. Let's go with Starbucks on that note. Starbucks, I would put probably here. I'd probably put that in brain rot. And that's more so like, again, I don't know too much about like what kind of ingredients they're using in the coffee there, but it's just the way that they sell it. How there's this whole like culture around it, and there's like all these hipster, like it kind of is like responsible for hipster culture and like coffee shop culture, and how like, it actually kind of this coworker music is usually playing at Starbucks. You have this like really indie pop like GOYSLOP music playing, right? You can't order like a normal person. You can't just say I want a regular size coffee. You can't say I want a large. It's grande. I want a grande latte. They're also a pro-Zionist, right? So maybe GigaSlop. Yeah, maybe that you could probably just say that they're the McDonald's of coffee, really. It's like, guys, just make your own coffee. Even the idea of spending over $5 on a cup of coffee is actually insane. And you could even argue that that's a sign of like societal collapse, but I wouldn't put it there. But the fact that people buy coffee for more than $5 is wild.
At I Ask Dumb Questions donated $19.99 through Super Chat. GM SAR, Slop Plaza.
Let's go, SAR. Thank you for the $20. I Ask Dumb Questions. More slop, please. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, as always. Yeah, thank you for donating to the slop stream here. This is quite literally a slop stream. But yeah, like the Starbucks is... yeah, I would keep it there. But like I was saying, just make your own coffee, boys. Like, buy it from, you know, what I do is I buy my coffee beans from the local monastery here. A lot of monasteries sell coffee beans that you can get shipped to you every month. You can just get like a subscription service, and then that way you're supporting the monastery. You're not supporting some zogged out company that's, you know, just making more slop, and it's mass marketed and everything. There's even like with Starbucks, I remember looking into this symbol, and I think there's some like esoteric references to this figure here. I just forget what it is. It's like is it a mermaid or something? Not that the mermaid is like a cult or whatever, but I remember seeing some kind of schizo post about that. I don't know if it's true or false, but yeah, buy coffee from the monasteries. Make your own cups of coffee. It's like the economics doesn't even compare. Like you can get a whole bag of coffee beans that if you were to drink like 1 to 2 cups of coffee every day, that bag of coffee beans would last you probably close to a month, and it would cost you about $13 to $15. The price of maybe 2 cups of Starbucks grande lattes or whatever. So when you think about it like that, it's just actually insane. But, you know, it's appealing for the same reason as like McDonald's. It's like people on the go, like they don't have time to make coffee in the morning. It's like, oh, I got to go to my wage cage in the morning and get the quickest cup of coffee I can, and I want it like done up and I want my initials in the foam. I want them to make like a little boat or something in the foam. Like I need some picture in there, and you know, just do it up, write my name on it. I want to hear like my name called when I go to order it. So, you know, it's just the whole, you're paying for all that experience, right? Like that's why you're paying $7 for a cup of coffee, because it's like, oh, it's like elite experience. Like you go in, oh, it's you know, they got the stomp clap music playing, and you know, they'll do up you can watch the barista like do all the stuff that you can just literally do at home. Okay. Well, Labubus. I don't know much about Labubus, but it seems demonic, so I'm gonna just say brain rot probably.
At I Ask Dumb Questions donated $9.99.
Oh, Abraxas, that's right.
Chat. It's Abraxas, look it up. Also a well-known CP Como ring named Abraxas, connected to Spartacus.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. Thank you. I Asked Dumb Questions. And another $10. I appreciate the generous support, man. Yeah, I do remember that now. Abraxas, which is where this is where abracadabra comes from, by the way. It's literally Jewish magic. Talk about GOYSLOP. This is like ancient Jewish magic. Abraxas. It's like this is literally where abracadabra comes from, and yeah, it's like some demon. But let me see. Let's just get like a. Yep, there you go. That's exactly what that is. Wow. Look at that. Wild. That's like, what else is that? Yeah, that's it right there. Sorry, I didn't click it. How could you even debate? Like, I don't understand how you can say that's not what that is. How can you say that's not what that is? Like, are you looking at the screen? Unless you're talking about something else. Like what? Literally, what else is that? It's right there. It's not like it. There is no speculation there. That's exactly what that is. Oh, it's just a coincidence. Like it just looks exactly like the same exact thing. One's a dude and one's a chick. You think that matters? Do you think that matters in symbology that they swapped the gender? This is the old Starbucks logo. That's literally the Abraxas. Is that what you guys are saying? That's not it? I mean, this is the old Star... how many examples are there of it? This is the old Starbucks logo. They just gender swapped it. I mean, I'm not going to get like this. It's like so retarded to even like counter signal this, guys. Like, come on. It's the old Starbucks logo. That's Abraxas right there. Okay. Come on. Like, this just so retarded to like just say, oh, it's not that. Like, come on, dude, just get in line and get your grande latte. Okay. All right, let's move on here. Feminism, I think another one that goes without saying, that's a societal collapse here. Not really, like this is not really a product, obviously. Somebody recommended this one in the Discord, so I was like, all right, I'll throw it up there. It's like, I mean, that's not even a product. It's just, maybe it doesn't even belong up there because it's not.
2655
Yo, Jonathan Kelly.
Through Super Chat. Not relevant, but... check out the Tucker Carlson and Jack Neal interview. Tucker is talking about how Trump basically uses word of faith magic. And it's the most savage.
Really? Is that the latest one? Thank you for the $10, Jonathan Kelly. Brother, I appreciate that, man. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Tucker has had... he just had some guy on recently that he's on... I've seen him on Substack. He's like ultra pro... Like he writes these articles about Sola Scriptura and stuff, and it was all... forget what he's talking about. Yeah, Tucker's all right. Tucker is kind of like hit or miss, but I think generally he's covering stuff that needs to be covered. Like I like the work he's doing with especially with like the data centers, the surveillance state, and technology, and I think he's doing good work for that stuff. But and he had Father Stephen D. Young on. Let's go with Daily Wire here. Daily Wire. That's an easy one. That's GOYSLOP. This is just Fox News for alt media. I don't even know who watches Daily Wire anymore. I actually just saw something this week on Twitter. Somebody posted like one of the Daily Wire live streams, and it was a screenshot. So I don't know if this was like at the beginning of the stream where no one was tuned in, but it was like 17 viewers or something. I doubt that they topped out at 17 viewers, but I don't know who's watching Daily Wire anymore. I don't know how they stay in business. I guess there's still there's still people consuming it, probably millions of people. Like it's always more than you think. This is why it's like you could get psyoped by the timeline, right? You get into this echo chamber on Twitter and you think that like this reflects like the broader the sentiment across the nation, and it's like, no, it doesn't at all. So I think there's still probably millions of people watching like Daily Wire and, Charlie Kirk's, I forget what his thing's called, but I don't know why I forgot his company, but yeah. Speaking of Charlie Kirk and GOYSLOP, there's I think maybe we can take a commercial break here. So let's cut to commercial.
Calling? Need a processed meal to destroy your insides? Look no further than GOYSLOP, the place where food controls you. Our secret Israeli-designed brown goo will kill you. We're not kidding. We're here to poison Goyim.
I love GOYSLOP. My wife and her lover love GOYSLOP. We're really proud of the work we've been doing here at GOYSLOP. I feel so full of energy whenever I take a bite. I love Israel.
So come on down to GOYSLOP. Clog your arteries and serve the mega corporations. Call 1-800-GOY-SLOP now and become the Goy you were always meant to be.
See, AI isn't so bad, is it? Right? There's you could weaponize AI slop. Just kidding. That's still AI slop, but I once in a while I get like it gets me like that. That's just so funny. Yeah, TPUSA. I do know that it's TPUSA. I'm just retarded and I blank on names that I usually know otherwise when I'm not streaming. Well, let's do Monster. This is going to be a spicy one because I know our chuds love Monster. Dude. Okay. Here's the thing about Monster. I just like it. So I like white monsters. So I'm gonna say you're a good goy if you drink Monster, just because I'm biased and I like it. I literally don't care. In fact, I'm gonna put this at the bottom actually, because if we're going top to bottom, yeah, this is the most based consumer product on the list. I would say. Not enough caffeine. Dude, if you have like, I think it's, dude, I would have like a heart attack if I just like slammed 2 Monsters. I think I would start panicking. I think it's just enough caffeine for me at least. Oh, let's go with Goyflix. Let's do Goyflix. Where should we put Goyflix? Now, Goyflix kind of embodies the same kind of like TikTok mode of consumption, but just for like longer form content, right? Because like Netflix is where the whole concept of marathon watching comes from. At least more broadly, like it's what popularized watching shows in a marathon style. Where you're not just like nobody goes on Netflix and they're like, I'm going to watch one TV episode for 20 minutes and then turn it off. And they've even designed Goyflix now so that it just auto plays the next episode. Binge watching, yeah. Binging, marathon, yeah, whatever. But it's literally designed to like all of these other apps and products. Addiction is programmed into it. There's immense forces of psychology, all these psychology experts and addiction experts that are programming these applications to maximize the amount of time that you spend on them. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like I think TikTok needs to go, before we put this on the list, I think I need to move TikTok up, because I'm just realizing now, or thinking about now, how TikTok has destroyed our collective attention spans. And not just TikTok, but just like all the social media apps. But TikTok certainly like innovated the whole now normative way that we scroll on social media apps. Red Bell White Monster. Yeah. Thank you for the $5, man. So, you know, TikTok like I was talking about TikTok in terms of like, you could get red pilled on TikTok, but you're still not going to read, like, it's not going to inspire you to like go read books about the subjects you're maybe learning about on TikTok. But not only that, but it's at the same time destroying your attention span. Our collective attention span, I read a study on this. It's like lower than goldfish levels now. It's like less than 2 seconds. And that's how TikTok is designed now. Or more broadly, all these other social media apps. It's like the first 2 seconds, I think it's even less than that. It might be something like somewhere around less than a second. you have that amount of time to catch the person's attention, or they'll just keep scrolling. And so that's just like fried our attention span. And so most people are not capable of reading. I think a lot of people like the idea of reading, and they might still buy books. They might even try to read the books, but it's rare that you encounter somebody that's able to sit and read for even 20 minutes, to just sit there uninterrupted and read for 20 minutes without their phone with them or anything. Just to focus purely on just reading a text for 20 minutes. That's very rare these days. That's all due to a number of things really that are probably on here, but TikTok had a huge role in that. Netflix also has a big role in that, although, like I said, it is more long form, but it's all kind of like dopamine style content that's very similar. And actually, this is like this is near the top of GOYSLOP. Being let's say Netflix addiction, and then also paying for Netflix is insane to me. That's almost as insane as paying $7 for a cup of coffee. Like paying a subscription to access media that you can get for free if you know what you're doing. Wink, wink. That's just insane to me. So I'm going to put this here. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we'll do a little early life check here. Let's just pull up Netflix, because I think this Wikipedia. So I forget the guy's name actually, but Netflix was founded, if I'm not mistaken, let me see here if I can find his name. Oh, okay. It wasn't either of these guys. Was it? So what I'm trying to find here is that I think one of the first CEOs or something was the grand nephew or the great grandson. I'm sorry, the great grandson of Edward Bernays, who was known as the godfather of PR. And I don't know if his name is Bernays though. Is it? It is Mark Randolph. It is Mark Randolph. Okay. I forgot his name, but yeah. So it is the founder, or the founder and CEO of Netflix is it the grandson of Edward Bernays? Yep. One of Randolph's paternal great grand uncles was the psychoanalyst pioneer Sigmund Freud. And then Edward Bernays was the great nephew of Sigmund Freud. So it comes from a lineage of the most, two of the most powerful arguably powerful figures in the 20th century in terms of, psychological manipulation. Bernays, I talk about him quite often, and I think we're going to be reading the book Propaganda in the book club soon this year. But I have a lot to say about him. I think the first article I ever wrote on Substack was about him. So he's behind a lot of the stuff that we're looking at. But an interesting thing about Bernays, one of the lesser known psyops that he invented was the bacon and eggs breakfast. How many of you knew that the bacon and eggs breakfast is a propaganda breakfast. Edward Bernays and basically invented it and normalized it because he was helping a meat packing company generate more sales. There's a whole video. There's a documentary called The Century of the Self about this. It blew my mind when I saw it. I was like this was years ago, and I had no idea. Like, it's all about mass marketing and stuff. Like, it's really interesting. Yeah, and that's right. Yeah, they're mostly Sabbateans too. That's right, Frankists. But this is the lineage that Mark Randolph comes from. The godfather of PR, who's the great nephew of Sigmund Freud. Crazy, but yeah. So Bernays also he also got women to smoke. Essentially, it was he helped boost cigarette sales because only men were smoking. And I think this was early 20th century, so it was only working class men that were smoking cigarettes. And so to help boost cigarette sales by, to 2x them, essentially, to double cigarette sales, he just targeted the other half of the population by marketing cigarettes to women, by depicting them as like these strong, empowered, feminists with, holding Virginia Slims. He called the ad campaign "Torches of Freedom," right? So they used, that Orwellian newspeak. It was highly successful. I mean, he was very good at what he did, which was to psyop the mass public. He was literally wrote the playbook on propaganda. What are we supposed to eat for breakfast then? Well, look, my take on that is bacon and eggs is my favorite psyop.
At I Ask Dumb Questions donated $9.99 through Super Chat. An exceptional movie that deals with PR/branding and its influence on the mind is a Russian movie called Branded, made in 2012. Don't watch the trailers, it ruins the movie.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Another $10. Thank you for the generous support. I Ask Dumb Questions. I'll add it to the list, man. We'll add it to the list of movies we haven't watched yet in the Discord. But yeah, I want to say I love bacon and eggs, and I'm kind of glad that he invented it because I'm a breakfast maxer. I'm a breakfast enjoyer, and I love bacon and eggs. So I'm kind of thankful that he made that psyop. But the point is, before that, Americans were generally eating 2 meals a day. They were having like a very light breakfast. It was, biscuits and tea or something. And so he kind of normalized like the whole 3 meals a day to boost sales for the meatpacking industry by like, I remember he was petitioning, I don't remember how many doctors, like 200 doctors or something. And he just did that whole, like he invented that whole thing. Like 9 out of 10 doctors say eating a hearty breakfast is better for your health. Something like really general like that he got them to say yes or no. Is it better to eat a bigger breakfast or a smaller breakfast? And most of them said yes. So he used that for statistics. Bacon and eggs might be GOYSLOP. Well, eggs aren't, I mean, I guess it depends, right? It still depends. What kind of bacon you're getting, what kind of eggs you're getting, how you're cooking it maybe, but I don't know. I wouldn't consider bacon and eggs GOYSLOP in the sense that like Takis are, It's not mass produced. You kind of have to make it yourself unless you're buying it from McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, which is on here. Let's do Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, that's kind of an easy one. That's going to go in the same category here. I don't even know why we have 2 coffee companies, but somebody insisted we put Dunkin' on there. So that's going, I would say, below Starbucks. Dunkin' has good hash browns, though. I like their hash browns. I'm not going to lie. Have you guys had Dunkin's hash browns? They're pretty good. But the coffee, the coffee is pure GOYSLOP because it's all like, if you just order a coffee with like cream and sugar, you're getting a cup of coffee flavored milk that's like loaded with sugar. It's like sugar's coating the bottom of the cup. It's just like you're drinking sugar. Another thing I don't like about buying coffee, like if you're iced coffee is like probably the biggest ripoff that these corporate coffee companies offer, because you're just getting a huge cup of ice that the space between the ice is being filled by coffee. Like if you dump the ice out and look at the liquid, you're getting like a quarter of the cup of coffee. But yeah, I generally avoid, like, I don't buy coffee from these places. Again, the Dunkin' Donuts hash browns I'll probably eat maybe a little bit more often than McDonald's fries, which is not, it's very occasional. But I don't get coffee from those places. And I certainly won't buy a breakfast sandwich from there. It's the GOYSLOP that is the GOYSLOP version of a breakfast sandwich. They're just microwaving it. Like it's pre-cooked, pre-packaged egg and bacon. It's like the bacon's like all slimy and like flimsy. Like it doesn't like have the texture of bacon. Okay, Cheetos and Takis are kind of the same. Flaming hot Cheetos and Takis, it's another one I do not see the difference. I fail to see the difference between these two. So we'll just put both of these here, and I'm kind of out of oh yeah, okay. We got a few more here. Yeah, I figured GigaSlop would be like kind of the one that has the most, but yeah, I really don't need two. I'll just put one there because it doesn't matter. Okay, let's do rap music. Oh, rap music is interesting because this rap music is a full-on psyop. That might be societal collapse territory. I'm going to take feminism off too because it's not a product. But rap music is, this is all music as a product. So I think rap music is societal collapse, but not at the top. But for sure societal collapse. And I'm old enough to like see how rap music evolved and became progressively more degenerate over time, and how it became more popular. Because like in the 90s, for example, rap was mostly like black people that listened to rap. And now it's like it has replaced rock music essentially. Like rock music's basically dead, and it's been replaced with rap, and in like the worst kind of rap. Sports ball. Yeah, a lot of you are saying sports ball is societal collapse territory. I wouldn't be opposed to putting it there. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'd have to justify it would have to be justified to put sports ball over goy slots, goy gambling. Maybe you could put it. Yeah, actually, I would say that it should go in front of gambling because most people that watch sports don't even gamble. You could argue that people like gamble on sports. They're at least like, I wouldn't even make that argument, but at least sometimes maybe they're like making some money from it. And like they're watching it, like, yeah, I don't know if I would want to like measure it that way, but there's something about just like watching sports for free and turning yourself into a target for mass ad targeting. There's something about that's so demented that's essentially what you're doing when you watch any of the Goy Ball events is that like you're mostly watching commercials. Even when you go to the events, it's ads everywhere. You're getting ads between breaks, and like when the whole rest of the country is watching it on TV, they're seeing all these ads from commercials. You're still getting blasted with ads when you go to the live events. So it's bread and circuses are maybe society. Like if you just want to categorize this as bread and circuses, like that is literally a essential component to societal collapse, right? So I don't know if it would go. I don't think I could justifiably put it in front of. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, vaccines should probably go like at the top. Like even. I don't know if I'd put it over corn. This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. Because like vaccine, like jabs kill people. Corn kills your soul and it kills your body and your soul, but like jabs actually cause incredibly like a ton of injuries, and millions of people have been injured by jabs, and deaths too. So yeah, the Goy prick. That's a tough one, man. If you're going by deadliness, this would go at the top. But if you're going by like what it's done to like entire generations of people, that's a tough one, man. I would need your guys' help on that. Let's do, okay, this one, someone said stocks. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know if like can you consider our stocks GOYSLOP chat? Our stock, like what's the deal with stocks? Are stocks GOYSLOP? I don't know. Or I think it was, what was it? Just like trading or like looking at charts and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I would consider that GOYSLOP. I would say good Goy. Let's just put that in good Goy. If we must put that on the chart, I would say good Goy. All right, we got a couple more here. And again, since we're coming towards the end of at least the initial placement, if you want to add any more on here that I might have missed, the best way to do that is $5 super chat or donation, and you can let me know what I missed, and I'll give it some time. I'll put it on there. So let's do Nintendo. Now, don't forget, like, all the franchises that are within Nintendo. Pokemon. I might... Oh, man. You could easily argue that Nintendo is, like, Disney tier. There's something like really off with like Nintendo fanboys. Yeah, Funko Pops, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about like Funko Pops. I would say is like you can kind of put that in like when I talk about Nintendo, I'm talking about the Nintendo fanboys who are the Funko Pop types, But I think I said Funko Pops would go with like Labubus or Pokemon cards. It's kind of the same thing. It's like you could like maybe turn it into like
I Ask Dumb Questions donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Do you remember the story leaking about how years ago the Ismail took over a Middle East town, their TV stations, and broadcasted corn on all channels while simultaneously sniping?
No, I don't remember that, but that's wild. On that note, I just read, there was kind of unrelated to what we're talking about here, but I just saw there was somebody hacked into the broadcasting system, the emergency broadcast text, like the SMS system or not SMS, but like the phone emergency thing that they, you know how they send out those alerts, those like emergency alerts that everyone gets on their phone. Somebody hacked that in Brazil, like just some random hack. Like it was literally just someone with an X account. It seemed like it was pretty easy to hack, and they woke up the whole country at like 3 a.m. But like it's actually insane that you can just do that. Like you can put any message on there. Video games is GOYSLOP. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. GOYSLOP. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, especially if we're gonna say, like, broaden it even further and say Nintendo, like, in terms of gamers, right? Gamer culture. Big difference between if you just enjoy occasional video games. Or you have like one or a few video games that like maybe you just like to kind of blow off some steam, like playing a game or something. There's a big difference between that and the soy jack Nintendo fanboy. You know, that's what we're talking about. Like that was another shift, cultural shift I saw happen in my lifetime. Was like it went from just like there. Like gaming was just something that you did like for fun, like with your friends, and it shifted to like a whole like identity. Like, so that's what I'm talking about. People that identify as a gamer and it's like a big part of their life and they have to buy all these products and, you know, you're spending $200 a month on the Steam store and all that. But yeah, actually I was going to say that. Yeah, Nick, historical strategy games, I would say, are the most based games you can play, as far as I know. And I don't even play those kinds of games, but they're at least like educational, and they're slower paced. They're not like dopaminergic, right? They're not totally dopamine driven, and I don't even think they're online. They're single player, so I'm cool with those kinds of games. But yeah, I would put this. This is for sure GOYSLOP territory, and you know, you could even like say Twitch culture goes here, right? It's like watching Twitch, watching people play video games is wild. Yeah, we could put that here. Maybe is that worse than? This is okay. Where in the GOYSLOP tier does this go? That's the question. Like, are we really gonna say Nintendo fanboys are worse than Red 40? You know, and Sneed Oils? Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, you know, the kind of the same discussion with the jabs, you can say applies to these chemicals that they put in the food. So maybe I might have made things a little difficult by naming the tiers this way. So if we went back to S through D tier, would we arrange any of these differently? I think I would put these up here. I'd put these up here. Let's see. Are we good on this? Are we locked in? Are we locked in? Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's change it back, just so we can get a better idea of our rankings to make sure that they're more accurate. Not that any of this matters whatsoever. Literally just for fun. This is just because my last handful of streams, they've just been so dark. And so I'm trying to like switch up the vibe here a little bit, you know, like just so I'm not blackpilling everyone. So let's see. Yeah, well, data centers again. It's like, are data centers GOYSLOP? Like, that's kind of broadening it, kind of beyond like what the general understanding is of GOYSLOP is, you know. Thank you for the $5 bitter clinger. Don't you think conning every goy into placing their life
questions donated $9.99 through super chat. More to add, read the comments. It won't let me post it.
Okay. I'll check that. I'll check it out. More to add, read the comments. Where? Oh, on the YouTube video? All right, give me a sec. Let me finish reading this one here. Don't you think conning every goy into placing their life savings on BlackRock's hands to finance all their global plans makes stocks pretty bad? That's a good point. Again, it depends what you're talking about, right? Because like index funds, for example. Yeah, doing your whole life savings, yes. Whole life savings into any one thing is insane. But if you're just like stashing, I think most people that invest in index funds, for example, are treating it like a savings account with just higher returns. I remember Warren Buffett talking about how there's never been a time in history where if you invested in the S&P 500, you lost money after 15 years. Like you're guaranteed, like for the entire history of the S&P, in a 15-year span, you've made some gains. I don't know like to what extent, but versus the value of the or like versus inflation, hedging against inflation. But yeah, doing your whole life savings for anything. I mean, look, can't you say that about any of these, right? Like a lot of people, they could dump their life savings into like a lot of these, like people dump their life savings into Nintendo and into just like playing games and consuming. People dump their life savings into consuming products. Like when you think about how wild that is. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. For sure, the stock market is it's all just as rigged as gambling. So it just makes you feel less like you're gambling. I don't know. I guess. Would you say Legos? Is Legos GOYSLOP? Okay, we can put Legos on the chart. Let me look at your list here. Did you add stuff? Thank you for another $5, man. I appreciate it. Let me see. You said you're in the comments. Is it on the comments on here? Oh, I don't see it. Okay. I don't know where you're saying you left the comment. I'll add Legos. That's fine. I'll have to think about that one. Legos, huh? So Legos can be if you're an adult, it's GOYSLOP. But if you're a kid, it's hard for me to say Legos are like generally bad for kids. Depends what kind of Legos, because Legos do tie into like a lot of the mass consumer products that we're talking about, like all the Star Wars Legos and Marvel Legos, right? So it does tie in a little bit with like the fandom. Let me get a Legos image here and we'll put it on there. Oh, let me add this. Okay, let me just add the Legos picture in so we can get it on the board. So here's Legos. Oh, thank you for another $5. Yeah, good suggestions here. Okay, TR Anime. Oh, Tranime. Tranime. Politics and K-pop. Okay, K-pop. Yeah, all right, we can do those. Politics. Yeah, that's kind of, someone said democracy earlier. But politics gets more into, like, I'll add it, but is politics really a product? Is that a mass marketing product, you know? But I'll put it on there, and I'll just throw it on the tier anyway. I'll get this picture here, and we'll add that in just for fun. We'll add politics. I mean, it is theater, right? It is a show. So if we want to think about politics as being a mass theater, I mean, S tier. That's S tier. And I would put it actually, I would actually put politics in front of jabs and then behind porn and dating apps.
Donated $5 through Super Chat. Conspiracy slop.
Dude, that's a good one. I actually had that written down. I had that one written down. I meant to add it. That's a good one. Because that is productized now. And you guys know I talk about that often. Conspiracy slop. Yeah, that is. All right, let me do Legos first. Oh, there's one I forgot here. Coco Melon. Let's put Coco Melon on the board. Do you guys know about Coco Melon? Because this is basically, I would say, TikTok, Disney, and it's hard to explain, but it's GOYSLOP for children. It's like this really fast-paced scene changes and stuff. I'll show you guys Coco Melon. But I would say Coco Melon, because it targets children, is maybe more damaging than Netflix and TikTok. Let me show you before I add the other ones. Let me show you guys Coco Melon. So if you go on YouTube and search Coco Melon Evil. Look at all this. Coco Melon, the most evil channel on YouTube. Nightmare that is Coco Melon. Everyone's talking about how evil it is. The worst kids channel. The world's most evil kids channel. Yeah, Asmik Gold covered it. So, all right, let's see. This has 5 million views.
My son is almost 2 and I've been letting him watch Cocomelon, but now I had to get him speech therapy so I can get him to talk. There are hundreds and hundreds of anecdotes in which parents mention the exact same problem. The Cocomelon show is so insanely addictive, it's being compared to nicotine and causing developmental issues amongst the kids who can't stop watching. Children's TV expert Jerica Sands calls it the most damaging show a child can watch, explaining the sneaky ways in which they make the show addictive. Firstly, there's the colors. Take for example the wheels on the bus. The 3 main colors.
Yeah, you know, actually, that's the first thing that you said that I agree with. Trotix. That I would now. Like I'm only 30 seconds into this, and this is actually societal collapse tier, for sure. Again, because it targets kids. Like, this is insane, man. It's crack for babies. That might be worse than sports ball. Yeah, video. I know. Yeah, we're watching. It's very meta. We're watching video essay slop. But this is just to like get like clips that like I don't feel like, I don't know. We can just watch Cocomelon, but I feel like I just want to see what they're talking about, like how evil it is. Let's see here. We'll go here.
Frame. Well, TikToker the circus.
I know. I can't stand the video essay voice. It's slightly less annoying to hear, and slightly less nauseating than like the AI voice.
Did exactly this. He firstly.
They always go did exactly this. They always do the like up talk. If you only knew how evil it was, you wouldn't let your kids watch it. Like they always talk like that. It drives me crazy, man.
Changes on my little
This we actually let's add video essay slop to the tier. Let's add video essay slop to the tier list.
Concluding there's about 6 seconds between each cut. He then compares it to Cocomelon.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Wow.
2, 1, 2, 1.
Wow, that's insane.
2, 1, 2, 1.
In her video, The Night That Is Cocomelon, Savannah
This is so
draws a
evil.
similar conclusion. She found that 96% of the shots in Baby Shark were shorter than 2 seconds.
Oh, that's where Baby Shark comes from? No way. I always thought that was like a spell or something. And actually, I think that is like a formula that Cocomelon uses. It's like they use this like a spell. Like they use they'll repeat these phrases over and over, like 3 times. Like specifically, it's like 3 times that they'll say things over and over, like a chant. Yeah. Cocomelon's for kids is like video poker for boomers. Yeah, but there's something. The reason that it is more evil, I think, is because it's kids. You know, like you're literally like giga frying your kids' brains before they even get to their teens. You know, like the fact that and I could see why this gets popular. Parents put their kids in front of this kind of slop, and it just keeps them so glued to the TV that they just leave their parents alone. They just zone out. Like they're literally just giving their kids visual crack. It's so evil, man. If people could see like if this were more visible in like the way that like Takis are, or like flaming hot Cheetos, like where it just looks disgusting, like you could see it for what it is, that would like you wouldn't, I don't think it would be as nearly as popular. I mean, still people would consume it because they just wouldn't care, but it's the fact that it's like there's something so nefarious about children's cartoons and stuff, like because it has the innocent look to it, and that, you know, people like adults like usually don't ever imagine that their kids are getting psyoped from like cartoons and children's shows, because they're like, oh well, you know, it's made for children, so like what could go wrong? So it's just really evil that it's for kids. Yeah, TikTok for toddlers, exactly. Yeah, it's just all dopamine. They're less than 3. There's no cuts that are less than like 2.5 seconds, it seems. So yeah, that's a Cocomelon. I don't even want to watch the rest of that. I've seen enough. So that's S tier for sure. Legos. I'm gonna put Lego. I don't know, man. I don't think Legos are. Unless you're talking about that Lego conspiracy, I don't know. I don't even know enough about that to comment on it, but that, I don't know. I'd put Legos at like D tier probably. Maybe C tier. I don't know. No, I would say D tier. I think Legos aren't like the worst. I mean, it's like you're using your brain, you know? You're like building something. Like that's generally a good thing. It's just it's the consumer marketing that they use, like with the partnerships, like with Star Wars, like all the soy stuff that they team up with these other companies to make Lego, you know, whatever, Lego Super Mario or whatever. I don't even know what the kind of Legos they have. So I don't think like just plain Legos, that's fine. I would let my kids play at Legos. I don't see anything wrong with that. Am I missing something? But like red pill me on Legos if I'm missing something. It's just building blocks, you know. All right, what's the other one here? OG Legos are D tier. Financial hype around Legos traded. Yeah, that's kind of that's the distinction I'm trying to make here. You would say S tier? S tier is crazy. Look at what's on S tier. You would put Legos up there? The hype, like the hype part. like even that, I don't know, man. When you compare it to like this stuff is, I would even have to change. Like this is the tough part about mixing in food with like entertainment, because red 40 and seed oil is like really bad for us, and it's in all of our food now. So like this is something that is very difficult to avoid, whereas most of this stuff you have to willingly like subject yourself to it. So there's something about the chemicals in the food that is just like, I don't think it belongs here. I think it belongs higher on the S tier. I mean, like it's still S tier, but it's just like, you know, does it go above politics? Does it go above jabbies? Is cocoa melon more dangerous than red 40? I don't know. I have to come back to that. But let me get to the other stuff that you submitted there. Where was it? Oh, here. Okay. Anime. I thought about anime. K-pop and politics. Okay, so I put politics on there. K-pop, I would say it. Like I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'd put that in D tier, and I would say it's like probably no, maybe a little above D tier, because that doesn't compare to stomp clap coworker music because of the fandom around it. And I'd even probably put K-pop in like the same category as anime, and not in the sense that, like, not in the aesthetic sense, but just in the way that, or maybe I wouldn't. I would keep those separate, because anime is so broad. Like there's some like relatively based animes that aren't like totally degenerate, even though it seems like most of it is. But the culture around it, like the making your identity anime, is like is probably similar to Nintendo. I would say that's like the Nintendo soy jack, you know, because anime can just like consume your entire identity. So I would keep the Nintendo guys like also representing specifically the anime type of people you're talking about, like the you know, people that just like are obsessed with anime. I don't know how to describe them. What's the word? There's I don't remember the Japanese word for anime fans, but you know what I'm talking about. It's hard to talk about anime in a broad sense. It's like it's more of an aesthetic than something like what, you know, some of these other things we're talking about. It's not like a company. It's not a specific product. It's more of an aesthetic, you know. Weeb, yeah, thank you. Weeboo, yeah, weeboo. Otaku, yeah, I think it's otaku, yeah. I think a weeb is more of like someone that's just obsessed with Japanese culture in general, but otaku is anime specifically, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so weeboos are the types, yeah. If you wanted to put weeboo there, I'd still put it like basically next to the Nintendo guy. What else was did I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Financial hype around Legos, trading cards, okay. Oh, conspiracy slop, yeah, that's right. Okay, we did Lego. More to add. Read the comments. I won't let me post it. Okay. I missed that one, whatever. Oh, you added them here. Okay. Sorry, talking to myself here, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss any of the donations that suggested stuff. All right. So I'm going to add conspiracy slop. Let's do that one. I don't even have a picture for that. Let me just grab one real quick. I'll just do like what's a good example of conspiracy slop? Like, oh, I'll just do like a general Illuminati symbol, and I'll add that. So let me grab that, and then we'll add conspiracy slop to the list. All right. So this is going to be conspiracy slop. It's the, the pyramid on the $1 bill. Where are we going to put this? Because this has been, I've talked about the dangers and kind of consequences of this. Although I don't even think they've all come to, we haven't even seen the beginning of this. That's the unfortunate part. But I would say conspiracy slop, like the thing is, not as many people are exposed to conspiracy slop as they are, I would say most if not all of the things that are on the S tier and probably A tier. This could also, this conspiracy slop could be an echo chamber delusion too, but I don't think it is. I think it goes beyond echo chamber. But keep in mind, like, only people that are on social media that are getting that kind of like content that's adjacent to conspiracy theories are even seeing that kind of stuff. But I guess what we're talking about here is like the commodification of conspiracy theories, right? So, I don't know. I don't think they're like, I think even the most retarded conspiracy theories, like they just make you, they just like make you more retarded, but not like how like, Nintendo does or something. I don't know. Like it seems mostly harmless, but is it? Is it because it's just confusing people? Like actually conspiracy slop can drive people insane. Like it actually can, like, you can get psychosis from conspiracy theories. Like it's making people schizophrenic. So I don't know. Maybe I'd put conspiracy slop just because of the reach. It doesn't have as much reach as these other things. So I'd maybe put it in like C tier. Maybe towards the top of C. Is it worse than Reddit? Or is conspiracy slop worse than Reddit? You have kind of the two sides of two sides of the different extremes, right? But the total opposite of conspiracy slop is Reddit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's vague posting and intellectual laziness. Yeah. It's like,
At I Ask Dumb Questions donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Conspiracy slop will lead people into symbolism and singularity slop. New Age synchronicity-based spiritualism, paganism. The New Age slop talks about Illuminati.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, New Age slop talks about Illuminati, aliens, and how we're all one. Yeah. There is like New Age elements tied into it. Again, I'm just thinking, like, does it really have a wider impact on? I think it will. I think it's going to accelerate and get progressively worse. Right now, it might be hard to see that. But with that in mind, let's say, I don't know, 10 years into the future, conspiracy slop, that's going to be probably close to like somewhere at the top of S or A tier and like maybe bottom of S tier, maybe even further, if like we're talking about how the role it's going to play in the religion of the future. It would just be hard to recognize that now for most people, but I think you guys get it. Let's put that, I think I could put that comfortably at the top of A tier then. With that in mind, like the way that I talk about it and how, and how you just mentioned it here, I asked them questions, like how it's all like going to accelerate the technocracy, the religion of the future. Like, you know, even though it seems like people are dissenting, it's just contributing to like all the mass confusion and disillusionment, people not knowing what they believe, questioning reality. It is a form of mass psychosis for sure. So I would say, yeah, I don't. Dude, the red 40 and the seed oils are throwing me off. That's the thing. Because you're talking chemicals and food, and then the rest of this is like, again, like even the conspiracy slop, you have to subject yourself to it. You're choosing to submit yourself to being psyoped. Whereas the chemicals in the food, the like mandatory jabbies and all that stuff, that's like in its own tier.
99 cents through super chat. Yes, because when people are consulting AI, they go crazy. There's one schizo who talked to ChatGPT and it validated that his mom was spying on him using the printer, the lights, etc.
Yeah, for sure. It's I mean, I have GPT on here. That's why I put GPT. Maybe, again, it's like hard to talk about. Like the thing is, I'm thinking broad scale. Okay, with any of these, I'm thinking mass consumption. So like, what you're talking about here with people turning schizo from getting addicted to chatbots, I don't think that's the majority of people using ChatGPT. Could lead to that. Could lead to mass psychosis, maybe within a few years. But it's hard, like, it's hard to, like, think about, now if we're going to, like, consider, like, where, like, how effective these things are going to be in the future, it gets harder to rate them, you know? Yeah, people are saying GPT is S tier. I wouldn't have a problem putting it in S tier, but like the reason I didn't put it in S tier, like I said, is because you can, GPT is a bad example of this, but you can use AI chatbots to do tasks more productively in less time and like move on to more important things with your life, spend less time doing like tedious digital work and things like that. So there is somewhat of a benefit to them. Now, when you look at the S tier stuff, like I'm thinking S tier, what does the S tier, if I took out, let's say if I took out sports ball, let's say I take out sports ball and put that here. What does all of the S tier have in common? Maybe I take out this too. What do all these have in common? There is no good to be gained from any of them. You can argue about vaccines, like certain vaccines, if you're not totally anti-vax. I probably wouldn't agree, but like, let's just say what we have in common with most of these is that there's like pretty much nothing good to be gained from them. Whereas like GPT could be used as a tool with great discernment and great, like being very careful with it. You could potentially use it to get more things done in less time. But I know you guys are coming at it from the angle that I kind of criticize AI with, so I can get on board with that. We'll put this here. We'll put sports ball back at S tier. I mean, GPT is quite literally the probably the most profitable GOYSLOP in the world right now, if you think about it. Literally owned by Sam Altman, a member of the tribe. Not one vaccine is good. Yeah, I wouldn't debate that. Again, I'm not like I'm not really well versed on the science and stuff, but like, yeah, like the polio. Yeah, polio is the one that I was thinking. It's like, are we gonna say that all vaccines are bad? Like, I don't know. I don't know like what polio the polio jabs did to people. But I know polio was like, what do we say about jabbies that prevented people like mass populations from getting wiped out, like polio? Maybe that was all psyop too. Who knows? I don't know enough about that. But I just wouldn't debate it though. I would just like defer to somebody who knew better about, Jabby's history. All right, I'm going to review this one more time. And again, if you guys want anything added here, you can submit it last minute, but Fox and Daily Wire is the first bioweapon or polio. Oh, sorry, I read two comments. Polio vaccines were the first bioweapon ever made. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have like seen stuff about it. I'm admitting that I'm not as well versed as I should be on that. I'll have to look into that. But I believe you. Rap doesn't psychologically destroy people. Yes, it does. Dude, why is it like, are you just like on a speed run to have the worst takes in the chat? Fox and Daily Wire is worse than rap? I don't think so, man. I'm pretty convinced about rap. I don't think you're thinking about its broader impact. Fox News the thing is, the Fox News generation is dying out already, and rap has captured the entire Gen Z and millennial already. Like, they already captured millennials and Gen Z in the coming generation. The next generations after that. Well, it's going to even be more popular by then. So one's on the way down, one's on the way up. That's how I look at it. The trends. Yeah, I would not. I don't think I can actually put rap music behind Fox News. That'd kind of be insane. The broader impact of rap. Well, I would direct you to. This is going to be the third time I mentioned this article series. But go to what was it? Martyr made rap music. He wrote. Let me see if I can find this here. It was about the Jewish control of the rap industry. Let me see if I don't know. I can't find it. It's on Substack, but it is just embedded itself into culture in a way that it impacts like the visually, right? The audio, I mean, even just like the messaging in the rap music and how widespread it is, it's surpassed just being like a thing for the black community. It is like, it has replaced, in my opinion, it has replaced rock music. and the ritual aspect of it, I think you have to think about this more in like the esoteric terms, right? So like think about the ritualistic aspects of rap music and like the performances, the music videos, all the subliminal messaging. It kind of is from the same spirit as like the Satanic Panic stuff. That was all like legitimized in my opinion. No, I'm not joking. I can't believe I have to explain to somebody in my chat the broader impact that rap music has made on society. Like this is like people listen to this for entertainment all the time. Like music is especially effective because like you're listening to music in the car, you're listening to it on your headphones when you go out to the club, when you go out to the store, when you watch a show, when you watch a movie, like it's just everywhere. It's permeating the general like population through all the different mediums that it's spread through. And like you could even think that it's not a degenerate song, but it has some subliminal messaging. Like, I mean, again, it's just like, I'm baffled that I have to like give examples of like how rap music is degenerate and how popular it is. And yeah, and it's all Jay owned and operated, all the big record labels, all the big rap artists. Like they're all MK, like a lot of these big name rap stars are like also MK Ultra, you know? Like they don't really go for the rock stars anymore. It's all rap. So like rap is kind of just like if you think about how rock music carried the hippie generation, like it carried the whole hippie culture that was all a CIA psyop. That's what rap music is today, but it's even more, I think it's even more popular, or maybe kind of around the same level, but I do think it's more popular than like the music was in the 60s, like the rock music and stuff. You don't have a rap artist that's like on the level of the Beatles maybe, but you have more rap artists that are covering a wider array of fan bases, you know? And it makes you retarded. I'm saying it's not societal ending. Well, it's not. I mean, none of these things in themselves are like ending society. They're not, they're signs of collapse. That's why I originally called it the S tier societal collapse, because they're signs of societal collapse. They're not causing society collapse in and of themselves. All of these things have other, like other forces at work behind them that are the whole reason they even got popular in the first place. Like dating apps is a good example of that. Why did dating apps take off? There are other conditions that made dating apps as viral and popular and normal as they are now. It didn't just like, it's not just like, oh, dating apps are addicting, so everyone uses them. No, there are all these contributors to that being the case. Same with OF, right? Same with rap music and the conspiracy slop, sports ball. Like all these things are kind of consequences of other conditions that made them emerge. I just got here for the stream at a perfect moment. Entertainment is fully weaponized. Yeah. 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 Rap music has been degenerate from the beginning. All music is, all the way back to Tin Pan Alley. Jay owned from the, yeah. Well, does Tin Pan Alley, does that go further back? Let me see. I'm trying to remember what, early. Yeah. So, okay, so Tin Pan Alley, late 19th century, kind of coincide with I think that maybe you can say Tin Pan Alley evolved into Broadway. I would say like on a more influential level, I would say it started with Broadway, which is all like there was literally a saying in Broadway that you don't have Broadway without Jews. And that comes from like the Jewish community says that. Like all the Jewish Broadway composers, that's like an inside kind of meme that they all know. They all acknowledge that they're all like all the musicals and the compositions are written by Jews. There's a whole documentary I watched on this. I'll show you guys because it's hard to find. If you can find it, you could probably download it somewhere. But it's called Broadway: A Jewish Legacy. And this was actually one of the most J-pilling things I've ever seen. Like, it was probably more effective for me to see this than something like Europa, if you could believe that. Because, yeah, here it is. Broadway musicals: A Jewish Legacy. And it's because you have all these composers. Oh, you can just watch it here?
Next, on Great Performances, they invented the sound and style of Broadway.
Oh, you can watch it here.
Shows of all time.
I'm trying to think if there was anybody not Jewish.
From its beginnings, Broadway musical theater has always been fertile ground for a wide variety of Jewish American artists.
Why were they, so many of them, Jewish?
The answers are in the songs, the shows, and Broadway musicals: A Jewish Legacy.
This documentary, you'll get an audible J-pill from it because they have the Broadway composer sit down at the piano and they're explaining how they subvert music through the composition with the notes. How like there's this particular minor note, I forget what it is, but they literally call it the Jew note. I think in jazz music it's called the blue note. And it's because it subverts. You expect the scale to go up, like it's becoming happier, and then they subvert it with a minor, and it catches you off guard. But it's like it makes it sound like more beautiful and like like they kind of like capture the sorrow of they explain all this. It's like, oh, it's like the sorrow of Jewish persecution and exile, right? And that's all like written into the Broadway musicals. They use this is where you start to see like how they use the African American community for their entertainment. Like there's one part. Let me see if I can find it. I watched this so many times I could probably skip through and find where this is. Oh yeah, this is a good part. I'm going to get demonetized if I play this, but maybe I'll just cut it out so we can watch it on the stream.
Irving, Berlin, were Jewish Americans.
Oh, this part's crazy. Okay, we'll watch this, but then wait. Before that, I want to play this part that I was thinking of here. Where they're using like black people to talk about like doubting the Bible and stuff. Is it this? Yep, I found it. It's this part.
Doesn't that kind of chords?
Oh, this is where he talks about this here. Oh, this is so good.
Ragtime, basically black music, into mainstream Broadway musicals.
Okay, I'm gonna rewind this a little bit because you'll see what I'm talking about with rap music. How this is where it started.
Modern classical music, influenced with jazz. So his music really is a melting pot.
Melting pot.
It becomes a reflection of the American experience.
George Gershwin was always experimenting, trying to bring jazz and blues and ragtime, basically black music, into mainstream Broadway musicals.
There's a big affinity between the Jewish wail that you hear in the temple and the black spiritual or the blues. I think a lot of it has to do with the minor key.
Here we go.
I think it also has something to do with bent notes and altered chords.
The blues scale has a kind of built-in minorness to it.
This is why I love this documentary. Like, this really woke me up, because like they're telling you how they subvert music, like actually in the composition itself. And once you hear, like, the whole documentary is this, like they're showing you these composers are explaining what they did, and like once you hear it, you can't unhear it. And I was even able to identify like pop songs that I suspected had that quote Jew note that they call it. And when I go and look at the composer, it's like an Israeli. Like that's happened to me multiple times. That Sam Smith song that he performed at the Grammys, where he was like dressed like a fat demon or something. That song that he sang has that exact thing. It has that, like, it almost sounds like Hava Nagila. Like they all kind of sound like that once you learn to identify it. But it's literally an audible red pill that you can't unhear.
That blue note is, well, I guess it's a blue note, though it existed before the blues. Is the,
Yeah, so that's what they call the Jew note.
That, doesn't that kind of sound Jewish to you? Yeah. Yeah, it's the kind of little flat thing.
Doesn't it sound Jewish?
If I'm in the key of C,
Imagine if it was a goy explaining this stuff. It would be so anti-Semitic. Doesn't that note sound Jewish to you? Like, imagine saying that to a Jew. They'd be like, "What are you talking about? You're an anti-Semite?"
Sounds sort of Episcopalian.
I mean, the Jewish thing, it's all minor. Because, Jews and their misery. The blacks, amazingly, always still had a little faith and hope. So they're at odds, not the Jews.
All right, here we go.
Ira collaborated with George on one of the songs for Porgy and Bess. It is a song that debunks the Bible. It ain't necessarily so.
Listen to how he talks. It debunks the Bible. Just like saying, like, this is from that, this isn't like some conspiracy documentary. This is PBS. They're telling you exactly what they're doing.
Things you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so.
So see how they get African Americans to do this, because it would be too on the nose if they got, white or Jewish person to talk about this, like debunking the Bible, and they're using. I'm getting ahead of him, so I'll have him explain it here.
Line is actually lifted from the liturgy.
Yeah.
Because when you're called up to the Torah in the temple on Saturday, you have to make a blessing. And you say, Baruch Hu es Hashem hamvarach, which is the same thing as, it ain't necessarily so. So to borrow a prayer over the Bible for a song that debunks
so it's like a
Bible
spell.
Seems to me to be the very definition of chutzpah, cheekiness.
So wild. They're just saying it.
They were very clever. As lines like, about Jonah, he made his home in that fish's abdomen.
This is you're seeing the early days of rap music here.
Tunes written by Jews for non-Jewish audiences.
GOYSLOP, he just explained it. He just said Broadway is GOYSLOP.
These ones have all been reversioned by the greatest African-American jazz.
Oh, but it's a conspiracy. It's hate speech.
Some of the most important examples of jazz improvisation come from Gershwin tunes.
I'm definitely getting a
that may not
copyright
always
strike
be
for this.
A cordial one. It might be a contentious one, but I just love that there's a dialogue going on. I like that there's a battle. I like that there's a sense of, oh, you wrote this, I'm gonna rewrite it.
In fact, this content is so copyright heavy, I guess, that I wasn't even able to upload clips on Twitter of these. Like, they got nuked immediately. And I've tried multiple times. So I know this video is getting flagged, but I'll have to just cut this whole section out. So enjoy it while we have it here, I guess.
You're inspired by this thing I did. Now I'm gonna take your inspiration and I'm gonna redo it and take it one step higher. That sense of a kind of friendly competition runs throughout American pop music.
All of these songs that were created.
So I think that was that part. Now I want to show you guys the part about Irving Berlin, because this is wild too. This is around here. Yeah, here's Irving Berlin.
Kurt Weill and Irving Berlin were Jewish American immigrants. Berlin's uncanny ability to write songs that felt American was unparalleled. Berlin humbly claimed he just had a little knack for songwriting.
But just a side note, don't forget the term melting pot was a Broadway play. I hope you guys know about this. Check this out. You want to see like the ultimate example of this. Okay, so this is melting pot. This is where the term came from. The 1908 play, The Melting Pot. Written by Israel Zangwill. Wait till you see this guy. Early life check? Imagine having the early life check. His name's Israel Zangwill. Like, he looks like if I drew him, it would be, I would end up on the ADL watch list. I would get, like, if I drew him, it would be a hate crime. So that's Israel Zangwill, who, wrote the play, The Melting Pot, which then became the, the concept of melting pot. Literally says right here, Zwangwill's play popularized the term melting pot as a symbol for this occurrence in American society. So it's saying it was used before, but thank you for the $1 Bethlehem Steel, brother. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, wild stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing it. My bad. Gosh, I'm so bad at these tabs. So, all right, here's melting pot, right? And then check this out. This is what I was saying. If I drew this guy, I would end up on the ADL watch list. It's a hate crime to draw that guy. Well, yeah, that's Israel Zwangwill. Sorry, I wasn't showing it that whole time, but yeah, I'll show you guys here. It says, where was it? In the play. Oh, look. He was a British author at the forefront of Zionism during the late 19th century, and as such was a close associate of Theodor Herzl. And then it says here, for The Melting Pot, although the idea of melting as a metaphor for ethnic assimilation had been used before, Zwangwill's play popularized the term melting pot as a symbol for this occurrence in American society. So yeah, we'll get back to this here now. I get some context.
And again, he would create beloved anthems for his adopted country.
This is the guy who will so assimilate to America. He will write the most popular Christmas song, White Christmas. And even though he's Jewish, writes the most popular Easter song, Easter Parade. It's the Horatio Alger story told in Yiddish. He grows up and becomes the most American of all of us.
God bless America.
How about that? How about that?
through the night with a light.
You know, this reminds me, by the way, I forgot a huge example of GOYSLOP, which is secular Christmas music, because it all comes from this too. Forgot all about that. I'll show you guys a list that I remember posting this a while back. Yep, right here. So here's a list of Christmas songs written by, I think these are like mostly Broadway Jewish composers. So there you go. Irving Berlin right there. He wrote White Christmas, which I think they talk about here. That's arguably the most popular Christmas song of the 20th century. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is literally about a Jewish boy getting bullied at school for his big nose. And they just rewrote it as he has a red nose instead of a big nose. And all these, and like, what do you notice about many of these songs? Baby, It's Cold Outside, Home for the Holidays, I think, Under Mistletoe, right? Under the Tree. I think there's one, Santa Baby, right? Like, what do all these songs have in common? They're sexualizing Christmas. They're sexualizing Santa, who represents Saint Nicholas. And they're all written by members of the tribe. So it's a tough pill to swallow because, a lot of these songs have become staples in our culture, and especially around Christmas time. It's like you hear these songs everywhere. They play them everywhere. You go out to the supermarket and you hear these songs on loop, right? So it's very, they've become, like very embedded in our culture, and we enjoy them like wholesome Chungus Christmas songs, but none of them have anything to do with Christ and the incarnation, obviously. So it's all subversion. But that's why I'm fascinated by this documentary, because they just like tell you this stuff straight up.
That song came from the heart, and it was his thank you to this country that had taken him in and given him the chance to become who he became.
Who would think that in the most American, major sounding work that Berlin wrote, there would be in it what I hear very clearly?
People bring up Little Drummer Boy. Little Drummer Boy, was that, I think, that was co-written by a non-Jew, I think. Yeah, Catherine Kennicott Davis, right? This, I would say, is the only exception, but it's still not really about the incarnation. It's just about, let me see, what are the lyrics here? The lyrics, the singer relates, a poor young boy who was summoned by the Magi to the nativity of Jesus. Without a gift, the infant little drummer boy played his drum. So it's like it's a Christmas fan fiction. It's like a gospel fan fiction kind of thing. Played my best for him. He smiled at me. The story of a drummer at the manger is not from the Bible, obviously. So it's like, even with that, it's like not recalling the story. So it's not the worst song on the list, that's for sure. I'll give you that. Like, I wouldn't spurg out if somebody was like enjoying this song or whatever. You got to be selective about what you spurg out about. Like, you got to realize, like, this whole list here, that we were just looking at, this whole list, like, if you comment, like, if you try to like shit on any of these songs, people are going to like lose their minds. Like, you can't really, you have to be selective about this stuff, like, people don't want to hear that this is like a Jewish subversion or something. Like the average normie, that is, at least,
as this, well, the Jewish word would be chazonish, but it would be a real cantor.
They all sound like Mark Levin.
And I'll just put the fundamental bass tone under it.
So watch. There's that minor. You can't unhear it. You'll never hear this song the same. He just described how the typical structure is to go up the scale on major notes, and he just described that same subversive blue note that they use to represent Jewish sorrow, how they insert that into the song. So like you're going to hear it here.
Jewish word would be chazonish, but it would be a real cantor. Well, let's take that. And I'll just put the fundamental bass tone under it. Asking God to
Oh yeah. So watch. This is crazy. Yep. Pre-TV, yeah.
But there were people who protested, God bless America. There were ministers who got up in church and said, what does a Jew have to do with asking God to bless America?
And it's not even it's obviously it's a different God. I mean, you know, you can argue that it's like this kind of ecumenist blessing or something. It's like the Jewish God.
There was real anti-Semitism. You know, you didn't feel that in the world of the theater, because that was a world in which nobody knew who everybody was or where they came from, just what they did.
Yeah, so there you go. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth playing here, since I'm already getting copy striked for this piece of content here. So again, I'll have to cut this out. So if you're enjoying this, enjoy it for the time being, because it's not going to be on the VOD, I don't think. Unless you guys really show up with donos, then I'll probably leave it. But I think it might get me a strike on my channel, so I might have to pull it. But anyway, we'll get back to this here. So now I hope that like gives you an idea of like rap music is just an extension of pop music, right? Like all mainstream popular music is an extension of Broadway. So like it doesn't have to be Jews performing. Look at how they used black people to like by their own admission talk about how it ain't necessarily so if you read it in the Bible. So I'm leaving rap music up there. I mean, that's S tier. That's S tier subversion, and it is GOYSLOP. I don't know. I think I'm pretty good on this chart here. What do you guys think? What tier would you give this chart? If you could put this chart on a tier, this whole chart. You could talk about the stuff till you're blue in the face, but, you know, I did kind of take liberties with like extending this beyond just the traditional understanding of GOYSLOP, which typically pertains to food. But I mean, we just saw them admit that there was like an aspect of that to music, to entertainment. Yeah, art. Yeah, exactly. You know, like I think it was art. Was it Art Deco? I think that the NAZIs went on like a campaign to like tear down because they thought it was subversive. There are 77 branches of Semitic-speaking people in the Near East. The Hebrew a very small branch. Why stake claim to an entire tree? What do you mean? How I'm generalizing? I'm talking about, like, yeah. I mean, look, you kind of can't talk about this without generalizing. I realize that it's not every one of them. Okay, I assume that that's understood when I talk about these things. Thank you for. I just missed the donation there. I didn't see the notification. Let me see here. $5 from Bethlehem Steel. So glad I was here for the exclusive live Chad content replay. Cucks could never. Yeah. Enjoy it while it's here. Oh, okay. I got you, man. Yeah. I got you. Oh, so you're saying like they can generalize, but we can't. Yeah, they can talk about it like it's monolithic, but we can't. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like the same double standard as GOYSLOP itself, like calling, like us memeing the word goy, like that catching on, that gaining virality. I've talked about this before, how in a sense the word goy is the first esoteric term to go mass viral. Like that's what we're experiencing right now, and for the first time in human history, I would say. Which, like, this word has been safeguarded in esoterica for like millennia, right? It was in the Talmud for a very long time. It probably predates the Talmud. I'm sure there was some kind of slur, whether it was goy or a different slur, that they used to describe non-Jews. And for the first time now, it's like entered the mainstream, and so they're kind of like now like it's like when we use it, it's it's anti-Semitic, it's hate speech. But when they use it, it's like, they can tell us that, like, oh, it's not a bad word. It's like we're just distinguishing between Jews and non-Jews. It's not actually a slur. But like if we say it in terms of like there's content and food and media that's like designed for, like, that's made by Jews, that's designed for Goyim, that's anti-Semitic. But we just watched the whole, we watched some clips from an entire documentary where they admit that, at least for the music industry. So, is McDonald's, some of these companies, it's like they're not necessarily like Jewish owned and operated and stuff, but it's like just the general concept. I think it's like a pretty useful concept. Like if it gets people thinking about how, like, even outside of the context of like anti-Semitism or whatever, it's like getting people to think about how there's mass-produced food products that we put into our bodies that are causing us harm, that are designed to do that. Then it's like it's a good thing, whether we call it something like that or not. It is generally kind of helping to wake people up. You can find connections like this for anything if you look hard enough. You guys are doing the same thing that the liberals do when they try to tie everything bad in America to the white man. No, I just literally admitted that it's not always just them. I wouldn't argue that. But the thing is, there's a meme of every single time for a reason. And I actually don't think you should. I think that it gets to a point where like you almost like don't even have, it's like, does it matter? For certain things, it's like, does it matter if it's like a Jewish thing or not? Like, does it help to know that the entire corn industry is ran and operated by Jews? Does it matter? It's already done its damage, but it's, here, I'll show you guys something for that too, in case you're like, why do you, where are you getting this from or whatever. All right, so here, and actually, a better source for this, I'll show you directly on the Wikipedia where this comes from. So this is Al Goldstein on Wikipedia. Okay, here's Al Goldstein. Now, what does this say in the first paragraph? He was the American pornographer best known for publishing the sex newspaper Screw and normalizing hardcore pornography in the United States. Do we need an early life check on Al Goldstein? Now, look at what he says. Again, you can just read what they say, okay? You want to call them anti-Semitic? Look at what they say. Well, him in particular. Views on religion. Goldstein was an atheist, referring to himself as such an interview in 1997 winter issue of Davka. Okay, what does he say here? In his tweet, he wrote a book called Excommunicated, Triple Excommunicated, Rebel Without a Shul, in which Ford asked Goldstein why Jews were dramatically overrepresented in the corn industry. He answered, the only reason that Jews are in pornography is that we think Christ sucks, Catholicism sucks, we don't believe in authoritarianism, I already said it, whatever, doesn't matter. Pornography thus becomes a way of defiling the Christian culture, and as it penetrates to the very heart of the American mainstream and is no doubt consumed by those very... This is another admission of GOYSLOP right here, of corn being GOYSLOP. Is no doubt consumed by those very same wasps. Its subversive character becomes more charged. Okay, and then another thing I'll show you guys, in case you're like, oh, that's just one person. Okay, this one actually I see get retweeted very often, and even though I posted this back in 2024, still to this day I still see people reposting this.
Jews and the adult. So let's start with, I think, Mike, maybe you're the best one for this. Maybe the background of Jews and the adult entertainment industry, either from the filmmaking perspective, management perspective, active perspective, viewing perspective. Share.
That's so funny.
I have some thoughts on it. Jews in the adult industry, there's a lot of them. It was pretty much founded by the adult industry, or I'm sorry, the Jews. The adult, I had a couple beers.
It's like all nervous laughter, like they don't know how to react.
The adult industry was pretty much founded by the Jews. Basically, in the early 1900s, the German Jewish immigrants came in, and when they were trying to get into different industries, there was a lot of anti-Semitism where they couldn't get into normal lines of work. I'm not saying that porn's not normal.
Yeah, exactly. And, to be fair, we're talking about, like, these are secular Jews here that were like, for the most part. So, it's not to say that the religious ones are pro corn, maybe some of them are, but, yeah, I would say this is probably mostly secular.
So they gravitated towards the porn.
And by the way, comedy as well. So this was, if you were in the book club back in last year, I think earlier last year, we read the book Jewish History, Jewish Religion by Israel Shahak. And he talks about how prior to the 20th century, it was like unheard of that Jews were doing jokes and like writing comedy. Like, it was actually forbidden in the Jewish religion that they make like public jokes. They were only allowed to make jokes about like other religions. Like, it was only within a religious context. And then so what happens during the boom of the entertainment industry in the early 20th century, they start like, and then it was also tied, he says it was tied to the establishment of the state of Israel, kind of like changed the laws for them. I don't remember exactly how, but like the secular Jews were like, you know, more liberalized. Like he talks about how they become more liberal. And with that, it became more socially acceptable to write jokes and do comedy publicly. And so now, so then you have like, fast forward to today, some of the most successful sitcoms like Seinfeld, some of the most successful comedians, like it's very much dominated as in the same way where it's like they represent a very small minority population wise, but they are overwhelmingly represented and influencing these industries.
Because it's like kind of the seedier cousin of the Hollywood industry, which had already been controlled by the Jews. And basically they pretty much just took it over. If you look at the big stars, did I break my chair already? I think so. Okay. So basically back in, you know, the 1960s, 70s, it was founded by people like Danny Mamet and Danny Skura. And then later in the 80s, you know, the godfather of the modern day porn industry, his name was Reuben Sterman.
And that wasn't even Al Goldstein. So he's naming a different guy who they call the godfather of the porn industry.
Who was actually an Orthodox Jew. He owned over 200
Oh, there you go.
stores all
Orthodox.
around the country. He's actually my god.
So Orthodox Jew who's the godfather of corn. So I can't even, I have to take back that statement. I was trying to be more, you know, more sympathetic, but there he goes, an Orthodox Jew who was considered the godfather of corn. What did he say his name was? I gotta look him up.
An Orthodox Jew. He owned over, you know, the godfather of the modern day. And then later in the 80s.
The 80s.
You know, the godfather of the modern day porn industry. His name was Reuben Sterman.
Reuben Sterman. Oh yeah, this guy. I've seen him. Referred to as the Walt Disney of porn. Wow. Oh, look what else he got into. Reefer Madness, right? That's a whole other rabbit hole. How pot became widespread through jazz music, through jazz clubs, same as how the CIA infiltrated spread cocaine through the jazz clubs and cocaine and heroin through jazz clubs in the early 20th century via Operation Gladio. Yeah, and there you go, tied to the Gambino crime family. So that's Gladio. Wow. It's all connected, man. I know I should, yeah, that's a good point. I should have put weed on there. That's a good, I'll put weed on the GOYSLOP list, actually. Weed is more goy nip. I would consider that goy nip. But same kind of broader category. Yeah, I'll add that for sure. Let's save that. That'll be the last one I add, and then I'll be done. But yeah, so you get the idea here.
Who was actually an Orthodox Jew. He owned over 200 bookstores all around the country. He's actually my godfather, which is kind of weird. Reuben Sterman, what the Jews did pretty much was they revolutionized the adult industry and made it their own. So there was no space for anti-Semitism, and they basically controlled everything. So back in the 80s, the only way you could get pornography was to go through someone like Reuben Sterman, and he controlled, you know, all of his stores and all the stores that.
I actually just talked about Borat last night. Borat, you have to remember, there's subversive. Like, yes, I understand it's like considered very funny by many people. It's like kind of become like a classic comedy. But think about what he's doing in that movie. And think about the other movies he made, right? The one, what was it called? Bruno, where he's a Skittles man who adopts a black baby, right? And it's like, it's so funny. What a funny premise. Borat is, he's like mocking, like Bible Belt people throughout that whole movie. Like he's like mocking like evangelicals to make fun of Christianity in general, because, you know, that's kind of as far as they're concerned, that represents Christianity. And so, you know, he's like, there's that song, like Throw the Jew Down the Well, that he does. And like, think about where he performs it. He's like down south, I think, or somewhere in the Bible Belt. And the whole point is like, oh, look at how anti-Semitic these people, like you just sing a song and they all sing along, and it's like blatantly anti-Semitic. And like, see, I'm like, he's like subversively kind of showing that all these people are hateful and stuff, you know? There was also this, of course, that I think we know. Again, from Forward magazine, a Jewish publication, a rabbi is overseeing Pornhub. That's actually not so weird. That's the headline of the article. Solomon Friedman. So I think we all know about this guy. He's like pretty well known. So that's a rabbi right there. Probably, I would imagine he's a Reform rabbi. Those are the more liberal ones. But, you know, we just heard that this guy was a Orthodox, so...
that he didn't own, they actually had to pay him a tax to carry his product, and he was the only place that you could get product from, peep shows from. And later, what the Jews did was they started the manufacturing end of the business. There were a lot of Italians that were coming into the business, but what they did was they created the manufacturing side, which is the replication, the printing, because back in the day, if you wanted to make a VHS or a beta tape or whatever, you couldn't go down to Kinko's or any mainstream.
Yeah, so you get the point, but, you know, I'm just showing you guys that it's like, this isn't just like being made up. In case you don't know already, like I can't imagine, but you can go straight to the horse's mouth with that kind of stuff, you know, you don't have to speculate. So let's do weed. This is an interesting one. Because it's like, it's a plant, obviously, but it is an industry as well, and it has very much been productized and commercialized. And so, and it is associated with all, like it kind of enables a lot of this kind of consuming behavior, you know, Netflix and chill. You know, video games, right? Like all the munchies are all GOYSLOP snacks, you know? So it kind of enables a lot of this kind of behavior. Rap music, right? I would definitely put weed at S tier. It's a matter of where in S tier, if that matters. It's hard. It gets harder to like really place these somewhere within the tier. That's like, you know, do you put this like above Red 40? Probably. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a psychological, but I think it's like a bioweapon almost, you know? Yeah, weed makes you like retarded. It makes you, I think, I've always had this like kind of theory, like I would not argue this in a serious way. It's just kind of funny, but I think weed makes you gay because it, like, not literally, but it feminizes you because you're smoking it's a feminine plant, right? You're smoking the female plant is what produces the THC. And, you know, think about what it does, right? It makes you very agreeable. Like you start to like almost like inherit these like female traits, like agreeableness, right? Like you just like, oh yeah, man, I never thought of that, bro. Like you don't really like argue people. Like everything sounds interesting. I'm speaking generally. Like I'm not saying, you know, people don't, I'm coming at this from experience. Listen, I was a daily smoker for a good 15 years. It was a big part of my life. I was a weed bro. I identified as a stoner. I adopted all this stoner culture. I really like didn't consume any media or entertainment that wasn't like kind of made for stoners. And so, you know, it does very much like consume your identity if you get like addicted to it. And you know, I was generally a pretty agreeable person. I didn't really argue or debate much when I was stoned, and you know, I didn't counter signal people's worldview and stuff, because you have like kind of the new age perennialism type worldview is like intertwined with it. So it's like, oh man, that's just, yeah, it's like that's cool. That's just like what you believe. Like I think it all leads to the same thing, you know, like that's kind of the default stoner religious worldview, is that all paths lead to the same truth or something. Yeah, Caius. I didn't think I'd see that name in the chat. Yeah, I got it. I got really into stoner rock for sure. Caius, Queens of the Stone Age, Orange Goblin, Sleep. Sleep had that album Dope Smoker. It's a 60-minute song. The whole album was one song. Like, that's the kind of stuff I listen to. All this like Black Sabbath worship. Yeah, I didn't think that's such a niche reference. But yeah, I think I would put that comfortably in S tier somewhere. I don't know how it compares to these other things, Cocoa Melon and, you know, seed oils. I'd say it's like in the same tier for sure, though. Yeah, Electric Wizard. A lot of the, like, so I had all those CDs. I had like hundreds of these like stoner doom and stoner rock albums that I had the physical CDs of them. And I had like, this is a whole other story. I don't think I'll get into this, but I basically like kind of came to my senses and tried to throw them all out. And okay, so first of all, I started to notice like how much demonic and occult imagery was being used. Like the album, the Electric Wizard album, for example. I'll just show you guys because I know most of you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What was it? Dope Throne it was called, I think. Let me go to Google. Jugal. Yeah, Dope Throne. This out. So look at this album cover. It's literally Satan smoking a bong. And it's all like horror, like these guys are obsessed with horror. So like this is very common with like stoner, you know, stoner metal or whatever. Yeah, the guy from Sleep. Yeah, one of the guys from Sleep. One of the original members became Orthodox. I'm trying to remember his name. You guys, I know some of you. Yeah, Justin Marler. Thank you. Yeah, Justin Marler. Shout out to Justin Marler. Yeah, I mean, I still like you don't stop. I think it's rare that you stop liking the genre in general. It's just like I can't listen to this anymore. Like this kind of stuff that's like blatantly satanic, whether they're memeing or not, because there is power in like the imagery, and then like the lyrics are just like I don't need to hear it, man. I don't need to like listen to like horror music where they're, you know, like I think I listened to one of these songs recently just to kind of like recall what it was about, and I just can't, like, it's not good enough for me to be like I'm gonna like withstand the blatantly kind of like satanic lyrics and stuff. But no judgment if you still like it or whatever. I get it, but I just think I think we tend to downplay. I did a whole stream on this on the stage. I probably will do another one like soon to cover music, because that has a lot of it has a lot of power on our mind, a lot of like influence on our minds that we are not aware of by allowing this kind of music into our minds. We have to be very discerning and guarding of what enters our minds, whether it's music or movies or media, anything like that. Especially when they're showing you on the album cover, like Satan smoking a bong. Yeah, this is definitely nihilistic. Yeah. Oh yeah, Dave Mustaine. Yeah, I just tweeted about Megadeth recently. Dave Mustaine. I still love Megadeth, man. I was just listening to Rust in Peace today. Yeah, right here. Just because like everyone's talking about the UFO disclosures and stuff. Yeah, I love Megadeth, man. There's even some songs that they had back in the day that were like kind of satanic, and Dave Mustaine doesn't perform them anymore. But anyway, so yeah, I think I'm fine with weed being there. I don't know if I missed anything, let me know, but I'll probably wrap things up here. Yeah, weed is for gay people. Weed is ecumenist maxing, yeah. It turns you into a gay ecumenist. I mean, it ultimately, like, it also does make you a consumer. Like, I got into weed from music. Like, that was my gateway into weed. I started listening to all that stoner music because I loved Black Sabbath. And I felt like I struck gold when I discovered stoner rock. Like, I was like, I didn't know this, man. I didn't realize there was an entire genre that was based on these guys LARPing as Black Sabbath. Like, they were trying to sound as much like Black Sabbath as possible in their own original way. And I was obsessed with it. And so I got so immersed in that kind of music that I was like, you know, this is all written. Like, I saw the imagery and the lyrics and like the fact that it was called stoner, doom, stoner rock. And I was like, I want to experience this the way that it was written, the way that it was intended to be listened to. If I love it when I'm not stoned, I want to be stoned and listen to it. And I was kind of a late bloomer to smoking weed. All my friends did. Like, I grew up like hanging out with skaters. I was a skateboarder, and like weed and music and stuff is like pretty closely tied to skateboarding. And like, so I'd been around, like, my friends were smoking and stuff as a teenager. I didn't start until I was like 19. But I got into it from music. I just decided, I was like, I want to like hear this stoned. And so I just went out and bought some, and that was my whole thing with smoking. It was like, it was always tied to music or movies. Like, so I know that that's like anecdotal. That's just me, but all of the throughout my 15 to 20 years that I was like in that culture, all the other stoners I met, it was the same deal. Like, you all connected on, like, media. It was all based on like the entertainment that you enjoy. And then that's how you bond. You smoke together, and then it's like a ritual. Like, you watch all this GOYSLOP together after you smoke your goy nip. So, not say, again, generalizing here. I'm not saying all stoners do that, but like 99% of the ones that I encountered, that was like what you like. They all do that. They all get high and like listen to music or watch movies and stuff. Just play games, consume the GOYSLOP. Yeah, and then that's interesting because it like stoners will always reference all of the anti-stoner propaganda that you saw back in the early 20th century to say that it was all a psyop all along to keep us from this like miracle plant, right? And then it flipped, and then it became, the early 2000s, 2010s. You started to see like pro-stoner propaganda. Like, it was all like in these movies, like Dude, Where's My Car and all that stuff, right? What's that? My 70s show. There's a ton of them that all had like the like normalization of stoner culture. But yeah, yeah, all the Judd Apatow films, also another tribesman, Judd Apatow. Like, yeah, all those Seth Rogen, okay, another one, right? Like, look what is Seth Rogen doing now? Check out what he's doing now. I don't know if you guys saw this. Because you don't really see him in movies anymore, but check out what he's up to. Oh, let's see if I can find. There's a video. Yeah, was it this here? There's a bunch of them.
Hi. So Kamala Harris was just asked.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He's one of the white guy, quote, white guys for Harris, right? Okay, here's one of his. What is that? That's a bong? It's like a pill. So he's smoking out of a giant pill.
Dear God. So crazy.
Jeez, man. Just retard maxing. All right, I've seen enough of him anyway, but you guys get the idea. All right, I'm gonna probably wrap up the stream here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the support. Again, I'll probably have to cut that whole part with the when we were watching that PBS documentary. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again. I don't know when. I kind of like missed. I didn't stream all last week. I probably will be back soon with a deep dive. We'll get back to the regular content here. I just wanted to do something fun and a little different just to break up the stream of doomer stuff. But yeah, stay tuned. There's going to be, I think actually the next stream I'll talk about the project that I'm kind of trying to wrap up here. So I think it'll be ready to show you guys. So I'm looking forward to it, but make sure you're in the Discord if you're not already. We're still there. So you can join there. The link is in the description, and you can support my work as always on Substack at thereversion.co. You can read all the articles I wrote and see all the past content for the 3 years that I was doing content there before I was starting on YouTube. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. God bless, and we'll see you next time. You know what? I want to comment on something. We're back, but just for a second here. This right here. Who's hating on anyone, man? Show me where I said anything hateful. Because this is not... if you think this is a new Orthodox converts thing, I'm afraid I have bad news for you. But I think I understand what you mean. But I just would like you to show me where I said anything hateful. If you're still there. Because I do want to address this. People in the comments. Oh, so I hope you're not talking about me, because nothing hateful was said here. And I would say nothing hateful was said in the chat that I saw, because if it was, it would have gotten flagged. And no one was even bashing anything. No one was bashing anyone. I was just showing you what they say. This is a reality of what we're covering here. The stream is literally called like it says GOYSLOP in the stream, okay? I know that it's like a meme. But like I was saying at the close of the stream, you can't ignore this stuff. You can, but it's like to your own detriment. I mean, I'm not even saying do anything about it. It's just like, can we be honest with ourselves for a minute and just recognize that all these things have something in common? Where you have a small minority overrepresented in the control of these industries. That's all we're saying here. No one's saying do something about it. No one's saying hate anybody, okay? We're just recognizing something that's real, that they admit themselves. I would actually strongly discourage any kind of hate against any group, really. I mean, we're not supposed to be hating entire groups of people as Christians. But is it hateful to recognize that there's like this ongoing millennia-long attack against Christ's church that happens to come from a small minority, largely in terms of its widespread kind of influence? Don't refer to it as the Jews. Well, what do you call them? They call themselves that. I already addressed that. You know, when we talk about them as a monolithic group, it's perceived as anti-Semitism, but then they can talk about themselves as a monolithic group. So why can't we? And we're even acknowledging that it's obviously not all of them. Like nobody thinks that it's like every single Jew you meet is like they're like have a secret plot. Like, I can't believe I'm explaining this. I really can't. And of course, notice your own sins. Yeah. But can we also talk about any of this stuff? Like, can we talk about any of this honestly and also recognize our own sins first? It's just tiresome. I can't stand those comments. This is why I came back. I can't stand when people say that kind of stuff, that it's like, this is a specific thing to Orthodox converts. So, all right, I'm going to actually go now, but just wanted to, I'm not going to like ban anybody for, you're allowed to counter signal anything I say. It's fine, but that's just ridiculous. But all right, goodbye for real now. See you guys.